instead of the problem. At Fit Body Bootcamp in Whitesboro and Clinton, we will help you by providing fat-burning 30-minute workouts and an effective nutrition program. Your time is now. Come join us where we inspire fitness and change lives. And remember, you're just one phone call away from living your best life.
Now through June 30th, get up to $120 off 4 new Bridgestone or Firestone tires instantly at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair Centers. Whether you're in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, or Herkimer, their team of professionals are ready to serve you. Schedule your appointment today online at tallmanstire.com. Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Get the best tires for your vehicle at unbeatable prices guaranteed. Subject to credit approval, restrictions apply. See store for details.
No one wants to leave behind stress for their family. That's why a trust or a will is so important. Without one, your assets might go to the wrong people or leave out loved ones. Also, probate is long, expensive, and often avoidable with a revocable trust. Trustandwill.com makes it simple to create a personalized estate plan. A trust or will provides clarity and peace of mind. Get 20% off on your estate plan documents by visiting trustandwill.com/radio.
The hottest months of the year are also the most dangerous, not just because of heat waves or storms, but because they stress the power grid to the limit. That's why My Patriot Supply created the Grid Doctor 3300 solar generator. It delivers 3,300 watts of power, enough to run fridges, freezers, power tools, and more, all without gas, noise, or fumes, using free energy from the sun. And for a limited time, when you order a Grid Doctor 3300, you'll get 2 free 200-watt waterproof solar panels, a bonus worth $894. To claim your free panels before this offer ends, shop mypatriotsupply.com/radio. Whether it's summer blackouts, hurricanes, or just peace of mind in uncertain times, the Grid Doctor Solar Generator has your back. Go to mypatriotsupply.com/radio, mypatriotsupply.com/radio, and secure your Grid Doctor 3300 with 2 free solar panels today.
Are you struggling with neck pain, back, knee, wrist pain? This is Bill Keeler, and I'm talking about Revive Softwave Therapy with Dr. Timothy Del Medico. For me, this has worked. It is FDA cleared, non-invasive. It's all about making the pain go away. The new patient special is just $99. Call today, 315-725-8427. Revive Softwave Therapy with Dr. Timothy Del Medico. 315-725-8427. Call today.
Stop putting off registering for the 2025 Boilermaker Road Race because it's almost sold out. People are sprinting to Boilermaker.com to grab their racing bibs before they're gone. Reserve your spot at the starting line now and punch your ticket to the world's best post-race party, where there will be live music, drinks, food, and plenty of surprises. This year's Boilermaker will be bigger and better than ever, but the window to sign up is closing. So run, don't walk, to Boilermaker.com and sign up for one of America's most famous races. See you at the starting line July 13th.
Real talk.
This is Bill Keeler.
It's Brian Kilmeade. Hey, girl. Jimmy Fallon in the house. Sean Hannity.
This is Guy Benson.
News you can trust. This is WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
WIBX. This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
I'm only going to read Bill Morehouse's Mets comment, if you don't mind.
There's more besides
well, the Mets? Maybe a little bit more in there.
Oh.
As far as the Mets, it's the Roberto Alomar syndrome when you come to the Mets. You lose your ability to hit. Well, I'm really wondering about when Soto breaks out. He has to break out, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he is good, right?
Yep.
I ask with a question mark, right? No, he is. So we'll see what occurs there with all of that. All righty now, let me go to the master gardener from Cornell Cooperative Extension, the one and only, Roseanne Leparco. Roseanne, good morning, good morning.
Good morning, Bill. How are you today?
Wonderful.
Hey, the sun's out.
The sun is out.
She's leading with the good stuff.
The sun was out yesterday. It was kind of nice. I mean,
everybody is so behind in gardening.
Oh, my God.
Yep. I mean, it's really... I don't remember a year like this in a long time where you haven't even been able to get out there, or if you did get out there, I'm sure a lot of your listeners lost a lot of plants.
Terrible.
Myself included in my enthusiasm to get some things out there too early. It's just too much rain for the plant.
Well, I like getting you know what I do with basil is I buy those bags from the farm in Schuyler, Giuliano.
Yes.
Yep.
And you get them at like Hannaford or Shenantries or wherever, and just take them home and plant them, and they just take off.
Ugh.
Unfortunately, they're almost all dead now.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah, too much. There's just too much rain. It's been too much rain for them. And I know last week you were talking about, weeds in the lawn. I mean, we've passed the point of being able to control them at this point.
Yeah.
It's going to be very difficult, except, if it's a lot of annual weeds. Your options are to mow high, which a lot of people haven't had a choice, but to mow high because you can't mow. But that can choke out annual weeds. But unfortunately, for the bad boy perennial weeds, it's going to be tough. In fact, if you're that concerned about weeds in the lawn, my particular advice is to wait until fall at this point. Or, I'm a person that says, embrace the weeds. They're good for, especially the ones that flower, are good for pollinators, provides food for the pollinators, and, mow high to try to keep them under control. And really, if you have more weeds than grass, you've got a problem with your grass, because your solution is to make sure your lawn is strong.
Right, you're strong enough to eat.
Yeah, if you have more weeds than lawn, something's wrong. So
because really, the lawn is a weed when you think about it, right? Isn't it?
Exactly.
It's a plant that's very different from the other plants that we grow. It thrives in this kind of weather. So it does the opposite of what all our other plants do. But, if you're having a problem, Cornell can help you with a soil test, because you want to make sure the soil is right for your lawn seed. Picking the right lawn seed is the other critical aspect of having a good lawn. Did you pick the right one for Central New York? And then people spend a lot of time trying to grow lawns where lawns just don't want to grow. For example, under a tree or in the shade. That's where you need to look at ground covers or something other than lawn seeds.
I always say
to force grass to grow where it won't grow is just a waste of your resources.
I always say under a tree. Why try to plant grass when you can put a posted sign there? That's what,
I like that.
Long story, but
I like that.
So, Roseanne, I have a problem with moss, which seems to be doing very well this year for some reason. So is that a problem of cover, or is that a problem with soil, or a combination?
It's a combination. I mean, if it's in your lawn, that's definitely a problem with soil. Probably the pH is not right if you're getting a lot of moss in your lawn. In a garden, I mean, it has been the perfect storm for moss to grow. Moss is not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, in a particular type of garden, I happen to like the look of moss. It looks very nice, but it's not very nice in a lawn. And if it's predominant in a lawn, something's wrong with the soil.
It's easy to cut.
It's easy to cut. That's right. It's
green.
Easy to cut. And so you need to do something that probably a soil test would be your best option to see what's making that moss thrive in the lawn.
I got to tell you, I have these memories of going to Speculator as a kid. My grandparents had a camp up there, and we would go up there. And, every once in a while you'd mosey on out, and it was almost in some parts in July, it's really hot and can get really dry, and the moss will literally dry up. And as you were walking through, there's these sand areas, where the bears probably are, and we're trying to make sure we don't attract any bears. But where you'd walk on the moss and it would crunch. It had just gotten so dry. We do not have that problem right now.
Nope.
No, when it dries up, your moss will die back, as you mentioned. But it is thriving now. I mean, I'm seeing it in areas where I've never seen moss. So it's just not the perfect weather. Hopefully, your listeners delayed planting their vegetables because I think to leave them with something is all this moisture is just a predecessor for disease issues. We've had cold temperatures and abnormal moisture. If you planted your vegetable garden, be on the lookout. You're going to have some issues.
Well, next week it looks like we're up into the 70s and low 80s, and a little bit of a change. I do have to ask you. I told you I was going to come in with some weed things. Number one, a poplar. I had every once in a while I get something growing we have a rock bed that's basically ground cover, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll leave that there. Maybe it's some really good plant that is going to be cool and I'll let it grow. Yeah. It's a poplar. Should I pull it out or leave it?
I mean, I would pull it out.
Okay, I will. Yeah.
That's me. I would pull it out. I mean, you're trying to, when you're in a rock garden environment, you want things to be compact and kind of look attractive against that background of the rock. So personally, I would pull it out. I got
a what is called a bitter dock, according to my phone. Have you ever heard of it?
I may have. I'm thinking in fact, I knew you were going to ask about weeds.
Yeah, I got a bunch of them here for you. Well, this one is supposedly it grows large. It's part of the buckwheat family. And it is, in some places, they love them, but in some places, they are considered a real nuisance and invasive. My guess is for us, it's invasive. I'll pull it out. Now,
yeah, I think it's, I'm guessing pulling it out because all of that particular family can be almost invasive. And once you have one, you'll have
get rid of
a whole bunch of them.
Why is it that like a really nice, beautiful rose bush can't blow into the backyard, right?
Isn't that always the case?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm convinced that, weeds can grow through concrete. I mean, they'll do anything.
Okay, here's my biggest menace. The biggest problem I am having, and every year after year, I cannot solve the problem. And I don't know that
this enough money
is the name. It looks kind of like a strawberry plant. Creeping cinquefoil.
Oh, nasty.
Oh, just terrible.
Nasty.
Yeah.
Nasty stuff. The one thing where it becomes really an issue is if you let it get a flower on it, and once it gets a flower on it, that's how it spreads its seeds. And so you want to try. I mean, in this kind of weather, you can try pulling it.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, with that particular weed, that's in a family of weeds where you think you pulled it all.
Yeah.
But then there's a piece that gets left in the soil, and that piece will end up being it'll root itself and be another plant.
I did not know it flowered until the other day. I'm like, oh, look at these pretty little yellow flowers. And then I realized,
pretty yellow flowers.
Yeah.
They do, as I said before, I don't think they have enough nectar where they would be really good for pollinators.
Yeah.
But anything with a flower is going to attract a pollinator. But the bad news is that's a nasty weed, and when it goes to flower, it's spitting out seeds, and so you just don't want that to happen. But it's nasty. My only recommendation, because I'm not a big user of chemicals,
it's hard to get to.
Hand pull it.
It's hard to get to. You don't know where the root is, and by the way, the root is very deep in these things.
That's the problem.
Yeah, it's a real
what
problem.
What happens is you think you get most of it, but you left a piece behind. I mean, that's a type of weed that really you need an herbicide to totally get rid of it. But trying to pull it, I mean, with this kind of weather, if there's anything good where the ground is wet, it's easier to pull the weeds than it would be when it's dry.
That is true. The weeds seem to be, especially if you're running with mulch and stuff like that, the weeds will pull up pretty easily.
They pull up pretty easy, right.
All right, any other questions, Tim? Have we?
No, I think we...
It's almost like
we gotta...
Do you normally charge a copay, Roseanne?
I probably should.
You should.
I mean, I should do that, but
yeah,
no.
It's affecting us mentally.
And, if you all have more questions or you want to see plants in action, so to speak, I invite you to come to our open house at the Extension. It's on July 16th from 4 to 7. We're going to have the Master Gardeners will be there, but so will other programs at the Extension. There'll be activities for kids. Our butterfly house will be up and running. We'll have Master Gardeners out in the gardens that can answer your questions, but you can see our different gardens. Come and take a look. We'll be testing new Cornell vegetable varieties in our vegetable garden, and we'll also be demonstrating All America Selection flowers and vegetables, and so you could see them growing in the garden. So come on out.
All right.
Free of charge. Just come out. We're having an herbal bake sale, a raffle, and if more importantly, the Master Gardeners will be there to answer your questions.
All right, beautiful. All right, we look forward to it. We'll talk to you again soon. These are very critical moments right now for people.
All right, Bill.
I mean, there's a lot of tension, a lot of stress.
Thanks for having me on your show. I enjoy it.
You're right. It is your show now.
It's not my show. I can't believe I said that. It's morning. It's early.
It's morning. Yeah, it is definitely. No worries. Roseanne Leparco, we love having you on. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye now.
All right. Have a great day.
Warner Sales and Service. Building relationships, building trust. Warner Sales and Service. Warner's, where quality still counts. At Warner's.
Warner Sales and Service is looking for a service technician. If you have mechanical abilities and are interested in working on diesel engines, hydraulic systems, and engine electrical, they want to hear from you. You'll be setting up, testing, diagnosing, and repairing the complete line of Bobcat construction equipment and Hustler turf equipment. 1 year experience or training in engine mechanics is required. The right applicant needs to have strong diagnostic capabilities. If you're the right person for the job, call Warner Sales and Service at 315-336-0311, 315-336-0311, or stop in to see them just off Route 365 between Rome and Verona.
At Warner's.
It's AmeriQ Credit Union's 75th anniversary, and our high-rate checking account has an unprecedented rate worth celebrating. Get started at ameriq.org/high-rate.
Start your AM with more info ASAP.
It's the only way to start the day.
Keeler on WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Yesterday we were talking about the internet service, fiber optic, and now they're moving into New Hartford. It's pretty big. A lot of people excited about it. They've wanted to cut the cord completely from Spectrum, and now this would allow them to actually do that. Is it the right move? How do customers of the service feel about the service? Have they had any hiccups? And on the line right now, formerly from this program, the one and only Andrew Dominio. Good morning.
Well, good morning to you. How are you?
Doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
You know,
it was good to.
Yeah, go ahead.
It was good to sleep in, or actually go to bed early. I've been watching these West Coast games, watching the Yankees take care of business. So it was good to get a little more rest last night.
And you kind of knew that Knicks game, right, was going to be just. It was a blowout from start to finish.
Yeah. I'm hoping that they can perform a miracle here, but. They're going to have to really step it up.
So, right, they tie it up, and then they go out there to play, right? If they tie it up tomorrow night.
If they tie it up tomorrow night, yeah.
Okay, all right. You know, we had the people from Go NetSpeed on yesterday. They're continuously installing their service, and it's fiber optic internet service, which is constant. It's kind of like Fios. You always heard people say, "Boy, Fios is fast." And it is. Unfortunately, Verizon has given up on the program. But for us, it's a game changer, I feel, because people today have so many streaming devices in their homes. And it's not just exclusive to television, right? So when this came out, you were one of the first to get on board. You received the service. You have it. And I'd like your opinion.
Yeah, I loved it, honestly. With Spectrum, so in the part of North Utica that we lived in, we were having a lot of spotty service issues. I would have to constantly reboot the router, plug it, unplug it, plug it back in, and it would lead to a lot of issues. We'd get the spinny wheel of death when we were trying to watch anything streaming wise. So when GoNet Speed came along, it was fairly easy. The equipment, they came in, they installed it. The equipment's a little bit bulkier than what you'd get at Spectrum, if I had to say anything.
Okay.
It's a bigger modem and a bigger router. But honestly, we had no problem.
Do you have to build a room for it? Oh, it's not that big. It's not that big. Okay.
No.
All right.
But it's some space in the garage.
But it is a little bit. It's a little larger. Now, so
the modem is.
And for the average person who's not uploading videos and doing all the stuff that I always talk about doing, you are, you have lights in your house maybe that are connected to your Wi-Fi. You have your watch, your phone, your iPad, all of this stuff, including your televisions. Did you notice that everything ran without the spinning? You didn't have those spinning issues, or did you still every once in a while have those issues?
No, I mean, I didn't notice them as often. It wasn't something that was a nagging, like it was top of mind that I got annoyed about it. And what's great is, and I would encourage people to get the higher gigabyte or whatever.
I think their top price is like $99 for 2 gigabit service.
Yeah. So you can get. I would recommend people to get the higher level of service or data because, how it works is, I think we had the 1 gigabyte, and then or whatever it is. I'm not really technical.
That might be like $79 or something like that. I forget what it was.
Yeah. And sometimes you always got to ask. They always have promotions going on.
Yeah.
But what happens is that amount of data is spread to all your devices. So if you think, I'm only going to use 500 megabits per second, right? Well, you may want to go up a little bit because if you do have multiple streaming devices, it's going to take all that and spread it to all your devices in the home. So I would recommend, going up 1 more or 2 more than you think you need, especially if you have a large household, because, even though fiber is great and we loved it and there was really no streaming issues, you probably want to, just make it easier on yourself. And it's still going to be less than Spectrum if you really think about it.
And the other part that I think you got to keep aware of, and I'll read this, even if fiber is only as fast as your slowest piece in the network. This is some guy in the 315, and he is absolutely correct. Even if you add a 10 gigabyte internet and you only go as fast as your modem can handle. So you may need to increase your, you get a better modem, better Wi-Fi. It really all depends on the equipment you're running it through, unless you're plugging directly in, which some things you can plug in directly, and that'll always be your fastest version of the speed.
That's the benefit of, because there's fiber internet down here in Florida, and we have, for the boxes that we got, thank you, we had the
we're not talking
Ethernet.
about that.
No, I'm saying for telling me to go online and get it.
Well, I said, why go to Lowe's when I've got these Amazon boxes at my house that are, piling up? I mean, I hate recycling them. So I just gave them to you. It made moving so
helpful.
Much easier, didn't it?
Very helpful.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
of course it did.
Yeah.
Yep.
But we plugged those right into we had Ethernet ports put into the wall when we built. And it's just unbelievable. So,
so you have you in multiple areas, you can plug in directly.
Yeah.
That's
and we do
a
that
smart move. Yeah.
Yeah. Whether it be our smart TV or whatever.
Well, think about it. You can go direct into every TV. If you have any box or your Apple TV or any of that stuff, you can go direct in, and you're always going to get faster speeds if you're direct. If you're new construction now, you should be running fiber through the house with Ethernet connections that people can plug into. That is a game changer. That's a smart move.
Yeah, it's awesome because our HOA, our master HOA here covers our internet, so we don't see an internet bill, but we don't really have any issues.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
But one thing I will too say about GoNet Speed is they will give you, I think, three different. So they gave us three different networks per se, right? One is 5G, one's 2.5, and then one is kind of like a blend or something like that. And they recommend, the installer recommends when they come and they set everything up, and then they give you the apps. You can change your password very easily. You can change the name of your network, but they'll tell you, okay, if you have, security cameras outside, if you have blink or ring cameras that are wireless, go on this, put them on this network.
Okay.
Or if you've got a desktop computer, make sure you're connected.
It works better on this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's good having somebody that can guide you with that because not everybody knows those things, and I don't know those. I always wonder, should I plug into this one or I think we get 5 gigabit and 2.5. So you're wondering which one should you plug into, and having somebody advise you on that helps. Okay.
And their customer service is great. Yeah.
So you believe it's worth it, and you save money.
Yeah. Oh, there was nothing better than when I had the installers come in. They hooked me up. They connected me. Everything was good. I knew it was working, and then I called Spectrum and I said, "I'm done."
Yeah.
And I was like, back to old Trump. You're fired.
You're fired. You're fired.
Well, what can we do? They said, "What can we do to keep you?" I said, "I'm sorry. They've already come and connected the old internet. Bye-bye."
And then they got to get on the elevator and the dramatic music and all that. It's really exciting. Yeah.
Right.
All right. That's good stuff, Andrew. I'm glad to hear it's all going well. And by the way, just for people here, what is it going to be like today where you're at? Fort Myers.
Well, I'm sitting having coffee on my lanai here, and it's looking at the mostly blue sky. It's 75 now, working its way up to 90.
Oh, boy. Well, enjoy that, all right?
I will indeed. I miss you all.
All right, we feel the same.
Vernon.
Yeah, I wish you would have won the money, but next time. So we'll see.
Next time.
All right, Andrew.
Go Yankees.
Good stuff. Thank you. Go Mets. Okay. Yep.
All right. Bye.
Have a good one.
Good morning. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM. I'm Megan Stone with your news update brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica, Commercial Drive, Yorkville. New York State Police are investigating a series of fights that broke out at a Sylvan Beach on Wednesday. The brawls happened in the afternoon and evening hours on Bridge Street, then on Main Street and Park Avenue. Police, along with the Oneida County Sheriff's Office, said a majority of the fights involved juveniles and that no arrests were made when the situation was brought under control. Police responded to an unconfirmed report of a stabbing but have not found evidence, and instead, the most severe injury reported was a bloody nose. A Utica man faces attempted murder and arson charges. He returned to court yesterday morning. Pablo Goico is accused of wearing a mask and shooting an employee of the Purple Haze Smoke Shop in Utica on November 8th, setting a porch on fire on Grand Street on November 11th, and shooting two individuals he was allegedly stalking on Whitesboro Street on November 12th. Goico declined a plea deal in April, and he appeared in court to prepare for trial. He is set for a hearing on suppression of evidence on June 12th. Measles vaccination rates for children are falling after the COVID-19 pandemic. Researchers from Johns Hopkins University assessed data from over 2,000 counties across 33 states between 2019 and 2024. The study found 78% of the counties reported a decrease in vaccination rates over that period, and the average vaccination rate fell approximately from over 93% pre-pandemic to just over 91% post-pandemic. However, research showed only 4 states, which were identified as California, Connecticut, Maine, and New York, had an increase in county-level vaccination rates. And the first full moon of the summer season will arrive next week. Bree Tennis with details on the arrival of the strawberry moon.
NASA says the strawberry moon will be visible in the night sky on June 11th, with peak moon viewing just before 1 a.m. Pacific time. Despite its name, the moon will not be pink, but it will look larger and brighter than usual. That's called a moon illusion, and it's due to the moon's low position in the sky that makes it appear larger. And do take a peek. Legend has it the strawberry moon brings luck and good fortune. I'm Bree Tennis.
Your Weather Center forecast is next. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM. I'm Megan Stone.
Back into an, I guess, unsettled weather pattern with rounds of showers, thunderstorms the next couple of days. I think the tail end of the weekend gets a little better. Flood watches just to our south for some heavier rainfall. Through this morning, some fog, mist, a few showers, thunder showers around, and into the afternoon, scattered showers, thunderstorms. Could be a strong or severe storm right on into tonight. And tomorrow, more scattered storms with a high of 78. Slight chance of a shower Sunday. I'm meteorologist Ray Staging from the Weather Channel, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
They say no two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app with over 16 million subscriptions sold? Well, we thought of you. All of you. Take Sierra. She's an artist and absolutely a visual learner. She's doing a deep dive into our Babbel wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Malcolm is very much a type A, say it to my face, listening learner. So he checks with Babbel's speech recognition to make sure that accent?
Precio.
Keith's a real people person and a curious learner, so he loves Babbel's Culture Bites, full of insights and native knowledge about the language he's learning. Like, what's served for Christmas dinner in Germany?
Glühwein, Weihnachtsgans und Christmasstollen.
Wherever you are, however you learn, Babbel is the best choice to break any language barrier. Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Beautiful woodwork adds warmth and charm to any kitchen. But years of use can leave your cabinets worn and faded. When you call Enhance, we'll make your cabinets as good as new again in as little as 1 day for a lot less than you'd pay for traditional refinishing or replacements. Whether you want to renew your cabinet's original finish or completely change their color, just tell us the look you want and we'll help you get it. Or bring your hardwood floors back to life. With most Enhance renewals, you can use your floors again the same day. Plus, there's no mess, no dust, and no odors. Call Enhance today for a free in-home consultation. We'll explain the process, we'll show you how your cabinets or floors will look when we're done, and we promise you'll be really pleased with the price. And when you trust Enhance, you'll get the skilled workmanship and attention to detail we bring to every job. There's no obligation. Call us now at 738-1113. 738-1113.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WARM to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WARM for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code WARM for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
This is WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Established, reputable
news the Mohawk Valley can trust.
All right. Speaking of Utica history, we can go there. In studio right now is Tom Hyland from Utica Mac. Good morning.
Good morning.
Really tight on that, Mike. These are incredibly
Good
sensitive.
morning.
And much better.
Good.
Okay, you're celebrating a milestone.
70 years tomorrow.
Wow.
Wow.
Congratulations.
June 5th, 1955. Thank you.
That's really awesome.
Thank you.
And so Mack trucks it's always been Utica Mac?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that's cool.
Yes.
So that's got to be pretty impressive for the company, the Mack Corporation.
It is. We're the 12th oldest Mac dealer in the United States.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
I should have run with that question.
There you go.
It's $400.
I could have helped.
Question. You could have helped. You could have helped. So let me ask you, in this 70th year, do you have any good news to report? Is there anything? I'm hearing there may be some movement.
So I'll give you a little timeline.
And we're talking, by the way, we're talking about the electric mandate,
electric vehicles,
which is not good for for trucks like Mack right
That's
now.
right. So August 29th, the U.S. House of Representatives voted to repeal the waivers for California on the emissions. At the end of May, the senators...
That was April 29th, right?
April 29th, the U.S. Senate voted for the same thing. So now we're waiting for it to be signed into law by President Trump. So when they negate the waivers that were given to California, that will basically...
Should apply to the rest of the country.
It will pull the carpet out from underneath New York's feet.
And because right now, explain what you have to do right now in order to sell, and here's the problem. It's the vehicles that these construction companies want.
It's pretty much everybody uses
gas. They don't want electric right now.
Right. They want diesel.
Yeah.
They want diesel. We have to sell one electric vehicle in order to sell 10 diesel vehicles.
Think about that.
The day after the U.S. Senate voted to repeal, the New York State DEC gave a short reprieve on this law. So we have probably until September or October to order for whoever we want. But the DEC is going to keep track of the diesels that we sell, and by 2029, they want us to make it up. So it's really, they're not really giving us anything.
So, Tom, have you actually sold an electric vehicle?
No.
I mean,
Is
anybody showing interest?
No. They showed interest because they want to buy diesel, but they're not showing interest because they want to
looking
buy
for electric.
Yeah.
Right.
Have you, you've been out there, you're kicking the tires, you're like, this is a beauty. And you have to buy them? You have to hold them in inventory?
We have to sell them.
You have to sell them.
I can't buy one and put it in inventory. It's got to be registered in New York State.
Wow. In order for
me to get a credit to sell 10.
To be able to sell 10. Now, if this gets signed by the president, although it is very interesting right now, the fallout is in, it seemed like this Elon Musk fallout was going to be, the exit was going to be well orchestrated and handled. And then out of the blue yesterday, he really ripped into Trump. So you're going to have, I think this is beginning to get personal, and a lot of it is over the credits for electric vehicles.
It is. Yeah.
And so it's going to be interesting to see how the president reacts to all of this. There was an interesting story somebody sent me about electric vehicles in Norway, which is just pretty cold in Norway.
Cold, yeah.
And they went through this whole thing about 20 years ago with electric vehicles, and there was and here's the difference. There were not mandates. They allowed the market to, and they did it with major incentives. Mm-hmm. And they are almost 90% electric, which 10 years ago, it was the opposite. 10% electric, 90% gas. And they have they have been able to make it work. And why? Because it was the market. Prices came down. It became cost effective to buy electric. Everything switched there. It started with incentives. The incentives are now gone, and it's the marketplace. They allowed the marketplace to, as opposed to
the way it should be done.
Yeah. And the other part is they are not a government this was a government that was all in. So everything they did was to make it so that it would work. So they had the infrastructure, so the charging was available. That all of these things would work. Whereas in this country, we're completely divided. We're fighting over it, and there is no infrastructure.
There is no infrastructure.
It's impossible for us to make this move without allowing the marketplace to do it.
And that's what we're throwing back at New York.
Yeah. No one's saying you're not anti it.
Oh, no, absolutely
if I know
not.
You're like the rest of us. Anybody in business, if people want it and I can sell it and make money, I'm going to run with that.
And if there's a way to keep it cleaner or make it cleaner,
that's
absolutely,
all good.
Absolutely.
But it's not there right now for us right now. Right. Not even close.
Not even close.
Yeah.
There's 3 public charging stations in New York State: Vestal, Poughkeepsie, and Rochester. There's not a electric truck made that will make it between the 3 of them.
Between the 3. Yeah. They force a mandate. Makes no sense.
And I've mentioned before that the Thruway Authority revamped all their service plazas. There's 27 of them.
No.
$450 million, and didn't put one heavy-duty charging station in.
So there's no
that's
charging
interesting.
stations down near New York City near the port?
Not
Over
for
there?
electric trucks. There are for cars.
There and when I say there are a lot of them, there are not a lot of them for electric cars.
No.
And the other thing is, it's still about an hour and a half full charge. You need this will not work until we come up with the quote 10 to 15 minute charge, which is being talked about, and it's coming, but it's not there yet.
No, the truck is 8-hour charge.
8-hour
runs
charge.
for
3
3 hours, 180 miles, and then 8 hours.
So from a business standpoint, is that even feasible?
It is not feasible.
And that the important part about that is that's ideal weather conditions.
That's right.
When it's cold,
everything changes.
Gonna take
everything
longer.
changes.
Everything changes.
It'll take longer to charge, but it will take much less time to run through a battery.
Yes, it will.
The charge doesn't last as long in the cold.
And the cost of the vehicle too.
Right.
$430,000.
Yeah. Again, the market
compared to $180,000.
Market's not there. It's not there. So you feel you're close to some relief.
I think we're close to some relief. I've been working on this for almost 2 years now, and it's a daunting task, I can tell you.
What has this done to your business?
We've lost about half of the sales that we normally have.
Wow.
Because the state, in their wisdom, gave municipalities an exemption from this because they knew that it wouldn't work.
But not
commercial customers.
Yeah. Makes no sense.
I'm a big believer in evolution rather than revolution. I mean, that's really how you've got to do this thing. You know, it's great. I almost feel like marijuana smoking started really earlier than when they made it legal, with some of these politicians said, yeah, man, this is going to be really cool. Well, yeah, fine, but we have nothing to support it.
We have nothing to support it.
Yeah. Okay, well, hopefully this happens.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We're still pushing forward. We've had a lot of support from Senator Griffo, Assemblywoman Buttonshine, and Miller, Brian Miller.
Mm-hmm.
They've done a lot of work for us.
Yeah.
We had an EPA meeting April 29th in Albany. We met with one of Lee Zeldin's representatives to get this into a federal level, and that's what started the ball rolling.
Okay. All right. All right. So here is a good example of what happens in California can affect the rest of us.
Exactly.
In a good way, and you'll be freed to be able to sell again.
That's right.
Crazy. Yeah. Do you have any stories like this in your 70-year history, or is this top the topper?
This is it.
Yeah.
This is the top. I don't want any more stories like that.
No. Listen, and I know you. You're not against electric.
I'm not.
You're a realist. It's not here now.
That's right.
And maybe it never will be, but it's got to be a lot easier and more cost-effective and profitable for it to make it.
That's right.
And
the market's got to want it.
The market has to want it.
And so, I mean, I'm talking from a completely uneducated position here, but there just, like you said, there just may be places that it's just not appropriate. I mean, if you're running a golf course and you got electric golf carts, cool.
But I'll tell you that school buses is another issue.
Exactly.
Yes, it is.
Buses, it won't work either yet. So I hate to cut you, but I got a break. Congratulations on 70 years.
Thank you.
I got a break.
Now through June 30th, get up to $120 off 4 new Bridgestone or Firestone tires instantly at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair Centers. Whether you're in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, or Herkimer, their team of professionals are ready to serve you. Schedule your appointment today online at tallmanstire.com. Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Get the best tires for your vehicle at unbeatable prices guaranteed. Subject to credit approval, restrictions apply. See store for details.
BME Company Business Machines and Equipment has been delivering office solutions for businesses in upstate New York for over 30 years. Their success comes from finding the right document management strategies and software solutions for streamlining workflows. Simply put, BME provides fast, reliable service at the best value to keep your business running smoothly. Through BME's strategic partnership with Hummel's Office Plus, they distribute supplies for just about every machine in your office at a great price. BME welcomes the opportunity to serve your business, selling, leasing, and service in Canon and Kyocera devices, as well as FP mailing solutions. An important part of BME's culture is supporting the communities they're fortunate to work in, and BME recognizes that support is one reason for their success. The future of business in BME's area is encouraging, and the company is grateful to be a part of that growth. Call BME Company at 315-574-8200 or visit BMEcompany.com. BME Company Office Solutions. Made simple.
For a lasting impression, trust the quality and craftsmanship of Humphrey Memorials. They're experienced in all facets of memorial design, sales of monuments and mausoleums, on-site cemetery lettering, cleaning and restoration, and specialty services like etched glassware, mirrors, and landscape products. Humphrey Memorials of Herkimer has been making a lasting impression in central New York since 1946. They also handle commercial construction projects as well. Find out more at humphrey.memorials.com. or call 866-4471.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. So you don't need to ditch the car and start rollerblading to work.
I look ridiculous.
You look ridiculous!
You don't need to start foraging wild berries.
I was skeptical, but these are actually pretty good.
You don't need to sell your organs on the black market.
Lie back. This is gonna hurt.
Yeah, that hurts.
You don't need to rent out your apartment to drifters.
I made a fire with the wood in your bedroom.
That's my dresser!
And your closet door.
You just need an internet connection. Don't get left behind. Start your personal savings plan with the tips and tools on feedthepig.org. That way, you don't need to sell all your belongings and live in a commune.
These dungarees belong to all of us now, Tom.
Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Stay in the know with the WIBX 950 mobile app, your go-to source for breaking local news, weather updates, and sports talk. Stream the station anytime, anywhere. Plus, chat with your favorite local hosts through the chat feature. Don't miss what's going on in our community. Download the WIBX 950 mobile app now on the Apple or Google Play Store.
First News from the Stanley Theater Studio. WIBX Utica. Rome.
W295EI.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. A Town Square media station.
Can they make up? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. It's a big question the day after a bitter public fight between President Trump and Elon Musk, who had led the Doge federal cutback effort. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt tells Fox's Hannity.
As a businessman, he has a right to speak for his companies. But as president, President Trump has a responsibility to fight for this country.
Now, Politico reports the two may talk today.
The president is now threatening to cut government subsidies for Musk's companies. So this comes as the Tesla CEO continued his attacks on Trump's big, beautiful bill. But then he took it to a whole new level, saying he thought Trump should be impeached and replaced by J.D. Vance. Musk also took credit for Trump's victory. He said, quote, "Without me, Trump would have lost the election." The president posting on Truth Social saying he asked Musk to leave the government and said Elon was, quote, "wearing thin." Quote, "I took away his electric vehicle mandate that nobody else wanted, and he just went crazy."
Fox's Brooke Sigmund now. In posts on X last night, Musk appeared open to ending the feud, replying to someone who wrote, "You're both better than this and cool off." That's good advice. Walking back, a threat to no longer let NASA use the SpaceX Dragon. Tesla's stock, by the way, went down 14% as that Trump-Musk fight played out. Russia has hit Ukraine hard again.
Overnight in Ukraine, President Volodymyr Zelensky says Russia launched a massive drone and missile attack targeting most of the big cities in his country, including the capital. He says Russia launched over 400 drones and more than 40 missiles, including ballistic missiles.
Fox's Lucas Tomlin, at least 3 people were killed in Kyiv in that barrage. 81 years ago, the World War II D-Day battle was raging on the beaches of Normandy, France, and this morning a commemoration.
It is a sheer privilege to stand in this cemetery among heroes.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, the few dozen surviving veterans who fought on D-Day are also there, some over 100 years old. America's listening to Fox News.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Mohammed Salman will appear in federal court to face a hate crime charge the day after the suspect in Sunday's Boulder, Colorado terror attack at a brief hearing in state court, facing 28 counts of attempted murder and much more.
2 counts of use of an incendiary device, and then a number of counts for attempted use of incendiary devices, as well as an assault in the 3rd degree count and an animal cruelty count for the dog who was injured in connection with the attack.
District Attorney Michael Doherty, 15 people were also injured when they were attacked and burned by a flamethrower and Molotov cocktails as they demonstrated in support of the hostages in Gaza. Next hour, we'll get the jobs report for May, expected to show a slowdown in hiring from April. The unemployment rate expected to remain 4.2%.
With the Federal Reserve's wait-and-see stance on interest rates, Friday's jobs data could change the outlook for monetary policy heading into the second half of the year. Today's jobs report is the final one before the Fed's June 17th through 18th policy meeting.
Fox's Hillary Barsky. The report could affect the stock market. For now, both Dow and NASDAQ futures are on the rise. The NBA Finals start with yet another big comeback for Indiana.
The Indiana Pacers are starting to look like a team of destiny. The Pacers stunned the Thunder 111-110 in Game 1 of the NBA Finals, with Tyrese Halliburton coming up clutch once again.
Halliburton looking. Halliburton driving, pulls up, jump shot. It's good! It's good! With 0.3 of a second remaining.
That was courtesy of ABC as Indiana erased a 15-point fourth quarter deficit, tying the largest fourth quarter comeback in the NBA Finals since 1971.
That's Fox's Joe Morgan. Game 2 will be on Sunday. NFL news, quarterback Aaron Rodgers is going to be a Steeler, signing a 1-year contract with Pittsburgh after Rodgers spent 2 years with the New York Jets and a long time as Green Bay Packers star quarterback. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 7:05. I'm Megan Stone with your news update, brought to you by the new Destination Kia of Utica. Commercial Drive, Yorkville, 64 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Your WIBX Weather Center forecast is right after this. New York State Police are investigating a series of fights that broke out at Sylvan Beach on Wednesday. The brawls happened in the afternoon and evening hours on Bridge Street, then on Main Street and Park Avenue. Police, along with the Oneida County Sheriff's Office, said a majority of the fights involved juveniles and that no arrests were made when the situation was brought under control. Police responded to an unconfirmed report of a stabbing but have not found evidence, and instead, the most severe injury reported was a bloody nose. Measles vaccination rates for children are falling after the COVID pandemic. Researchers from Johns Hopkins University assessed the data from over 2,000 counties across 33 states between 2019 and 2024. The study found 78% of the counties reported a decrease in vaccination rates over that period, and the average vaccination rate fell approximately from over 93% pre-pandemic to just over 91% post-pandemic. However, research showed only 4 states, identified as California, Connecticut, Maine, and New York, had an increase in county-level vaccination rates. Syracuse native and NASA astronaut Jeanette Epps is deciding to call it a career. Epps was with the space agency for 16 years and recently served as mission specialist during NASA's SpaceX Crew 8 mission. She ended up spending 235 days in space and was aboard the International Space Station working on scientific experiments. Epps, who has a degree from Lemoyne College, visited kids at Corcoran High School back in April to talk about her experience. GameStop says it's looking into reports that new Nintendo 2 Switch consoles were sold damaged on launch day. The new console hit shelves yesterday, and reports came in from a GameStop in New York that some screens had been damaged when the receipts were stapled directly onto the box. One user said the company eventually made things right by finding other consoles in the area to replace the damaged ones. And President Trump is ordering an investigation into actions taken by then-President Biden as questions about Biden's cognitive state toward the end of his term continue. Trump directed the counsel to the president to probe whether people lied to the public about Biden's mental state and unconstitutionally exercise the authorities and responsibilities of the president. The investigation will specifically look into actions Biden signed using an auto pen, which has become a talking point for GOP members as they continue with accusations about Biden's ability to carry out his duties. Your WIBX news time is 7:08. Here is your Weather Center forecast.
Back into an, I guess, unsettled weather pattern with rounds of showers, thunderstorms the next couple of days. I think the tail end of the weekend gets a little better. Flood watches just to our south for some heavier rainfall. Through this morning, some fog, mist, a few showers, thunder showers around, and into the afternoon, scattered showers, thunderstorms. Could be a strong or severe storm right on into tonight. And tomorrow, more scattered storms with a high of 78. Slight chance of a shower Sunday. I'm meteorologist Ray Staging from the Weather Channel, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, it's 64 under cloudy skies. Let's take a look at sports. Sports brought to you by the IBEW 43 local sports desk. The Pacers drew first blood with an epic win in the NBA Finals. The team took down the Thunder 111-110 in Game 1 from Oklahoma City. Tyrese Halliburton hit the game-winning shot with less than a second left and finished with 14 points for Indy. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander led all scorers with 38 points for OKC, which hopes to even the best-of-7 series when Game 2 tips off from Oklahoma City. On Sunday, the Oilers are leading the Stanley Cup final after picking up an overtime victory in Game 1. Edmonton will be looking to defend home ice once again when it hosts the Florida Panthers in Game 2 on Friday. Teams that take a 2-0 series lead in the Cup final go on to win about 87% of the time. Edmonton's Connor McDavid is leading the postseason with 28 points, while Florida's Sam Bennett has scored a league high of 12 goals this spring. The Mets came up short in their series finale against the Dodgers. They fell 6-5. Pete Alonso led the way at the plate after going 3 for 4 with a solo homer and 2 RBIs. Meanwhile, the Yankees, captured their rubber match against the Guardians. They earned a 4-0 shutout in the series finale. Cody Bellinger went 2 for 4 with a 2-run homer and 3 RBIs. New York leads the AL East after winning 3 of its last 4 games. They host the Red Sox for a 3-game series starting tonight. Aaron Rodgers, he's signing a 1-year contract with the Steelers. According to multiple reports, Rodgers told the Steelers he is flying into Pittsburgh tomorrow to officially sign and join the team ahead of next week's minicamp. Rodgers spent the last 2 seasons with the Jets after playing 18 seasons with the Packers. The 41-year-old quarterback has won a Super Bowl with the Packers in 2010. Veteran quarterback Russell Wilson knows he can be a leader to every member of his new team. The Giants' newest signal caller, who is signed to take over as the starter, will also be tasked with helping develop rookie quarterback Jackson Dart. Russell said he won't be limiting his guidance to just Dart, but emphasized that it's about everybody in the building. Dart was taken by the Giants with the 25th overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. 2 players tied atop the leaderboard after the first round of the RBC Canadian Open. Torbjorn Olesen and Cristobal de Solar each shot a 9-under-61 to open the tournament at TPC Toronto at Osprey Valley. Cameron Champ is in third at 8-under par, and defending champion Robert McIntyre is tied for 9th at 5-under. Aaron Baddeley, Matty Schmidt, and Harry Higgs will be among the first group of players teeing off for round 2. The NASCAR Cup Series is back on Sunday. The field battles at Michigan International Speedway for the Firekeepers Casino 400. Ryan Blaney looking for his second straight win after taking home the checkered flag last weekend in the Cracker Barrel 400. He sits 7th in the standings, while William Byron, Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, Diane Hemlin, and Chase Elliott make up the top 5 in the women's final. Set at the French Open, top-seeded Aryna Sabalenka defeated 5th-seeded and 3-time defending tournament champion Iga Swiatek in 3 sets to advance to her first French Open final. She will be playing her 4th major title after winning twice at the Australian Open and once at the U.S. Open. In other women's semifinal, 2nd-seeded American Coco Gauff cruised into straight sets victory over Lois Bosson. Gauff and Sabalenka will square off for the title on Saturday. I'm going to go with Goff. In men's semifinal action, top-seeded Yannick Sinner faces 6th-seeded Novak Djokovic, while second-seeded Carlos Alcaraz will play 8th-seeded Lorenzo Musetti. The action continues early Friday morning. Your WIBX news time is 7:12, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM. I'm Megan Stone.
Every once in a while, something that sounds too good to be true is actually in fact true. How would you like up to $2,000 of free windows? When I say $2,000 of free windows, I mean $2,000 of free windows. No gimmicks or games. You don't have to buy $2,000 to get $2,000 free. You just get $2,000 of free windows through Patriot Home Solutions and NYSERDA. Of course, some restrictions apply, but none of the restrictions are income-based. And you don't have to sit through a long, drawn-out sales presentation. Give Patriot a call at 315-401-0440, and they can quickly tell you over the phone if you qualify or how you can get qualified. That's 315-401-0440. These aren't any windows. They're high-quality, custom-fitted windows designed to save energy and keep the cold air out all winter. Your window solution is Patriot Home Solutions. Online at patriothomesolutions.com.
Now through June 30th, get up to $120 off 4 new Bridgestone or Firestone tires instantly at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair Centers. Whether you're in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, or Herkimer, their team of professionals are ready to serve you. Schedule your appointment today online at tallmanstire.com. Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Get the best tires for your vehicle at unbeatable prices guaranteed. Subject to credit approval, restrictions apply. See store for details.
We're your neighbors, friends, and your family. We care about our community, your business, and most important, you.
We support charities like the United Way, McMahon Ryan Child Advocacy Center. We're the members of IBEW Local 43 and NECA Contractors. You don't just see our work, you live it. From the JMA Wireless Dome, hospitals, schools, and city buildings, the IBEW is part of the community.
Central New York's future is bright, and the IBEW Local 43 and NECA will continue to help light, power, and grow Central New York.
Hey, it's Mike Aubrey, the real estate expert. I spend a lot of time driving through neighborhoods. Guess what I see? Lost, confused homeowners. There's one now, driving in circles.
Hey, pal, need some help?
I've been looking for a better mortgage, but I'm not getting anywhere.
They're searching and searching for refinancing. But even though they are current on their payments, they just can't find a lower rate or better terms because they're underwater on their mortgages.
Talk about getting the runaround!
But there is one place to look if your mortgage is owned by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac.
Mike, can you get me out of here?
Come on, follow me. I've got the answer.
HARP, HARP. It's a government refinancing program that could save you money. See if you qualify at harp.gov.
Thanks, Mike. Now we're getting somewhere.
Harp.gov, your best route to a better mortgage.
On Friday's Guy Benson Show, the fallout of the Musk-Trump feud. Shannon Bream of Fox News Sunday breaks down some huge Supreme Court decisions, unanimous ones. Riley Gaines is here, so is former Energy Secretary Dan Brouillette. What a week. We're breaking it all down on the Guy Benson Show Friday edition coming up.
Guy Benson, airing at 7, only on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Keeler in the Morning. Live local news updates throughout your workday.
I feel smarter when I listen.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
I can't believe people miss the one in July. It's usually so hot. And what's the first thing you have when you have a barbecue, or the first thing you do when you go to the fair?
It is.
You have
an
ice cream
cone. It is ice cream. Yeah. We were at the Mets game, and we had ice cream, and I'm tasting it. I'm like, this is the creamiest ice cream I've ever had. Turns out it was a combination. Maybe they call it something. I don't know. But it was a combination of soft ice cream and whipped cream mixed together.
It's creamy.
Oh, it was so good.
I don't mean to make fun of it, but it's very creamy when they do that. Creamy. And another thing that's really creamy is you can take some yogurt and mix it with ice cream, and like a flavored, like a vanilla ice cream, and use a flavored yogurt. Oh my! Talk about smooth.
Oh, but that's good. Do you know what we do with and I'm telling you, when you're sitting there and you're like, oh my God, we're doing dinner for 2 couples or something at our house, and we don't have a dessert. So you just go to, for us, right nearby is Stewart's. We go to Stewart's.
Stewart's ice cream
Get
is the best.
Their French vanilla ice cream.
Yeah.
Didn't that rank number one? It was the French vanilla or the regular vanilla?
They've won
Philly
multiple
vanilla.
contests.
So I'm telling you, you
Best
should
in the state.
try this weekend. If it, you know,
You're
listen
gonna want
to
hot
this.
chocolate this weekend.
Well,
Bill.
no. Listen. You're maybe right. This, but they may be Sunday, Monday. It'll be close to
always
7.
time for
Memorial
ice cream.
Day.
You take your vanilla ice cream, and you find the best olive oil you can find, and you pour olive oil over the ice cream, and add kosher salt or sea salt to it, and sprinkle it on there. I'm going to tell you, Ben, that is your homework. For the next time, you come in, I want you to say, you know what? I tried it, and Beth, you should try it. I know you have a rancid look on your face.
It sounds like a rancid look. It kind of sounds like a Taylor and the Cook level.
It is
of dessert.
It is
Maybe like a little sugar cookie on the side.
And the key is make it a good olive oil.
I'm just going to say the quality olive oil.
You make it a good olive oil. The one that
don't use great value.
Yeah. You want a nice olive oil, but the sea salt or the kosher salt is the key to it. I'm telling you, it'll blow your mind.
Wow,
you have to look into that this weekend.
Yeah. Okay, Ben. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning, Bill and Beth.
How is this rain? First of all, it's affecting us emotionally, and it's depressing. It is. I am so far behind when it comes to weeds and mulch and everything else. It's just awful.
So if you, like you, Bill, and and your homeowners out there, the listeners, are frustrated and depressed and can't mow your lawns, just imagine us farmers that are trying to cover 500 and 600 acres of plowed ground, trying to get on and plant our corn, our soybeans, and all our spring crops. There are farmers out there that have had such a wetter spring that have not even put a seed in the ground. On our farm, we're very diverse on our soil types because we have some land in Lee Center. I have land in Remsen. And so we're about 50% with our corn and soybeans, but we are now at a full standstill. Now, the other part of this problem that we're having is the wet makes common sense to everybody that we just can't get on the land with our big equipment. The other problem is the seeds that we have put in the ground, they have not emerged.
Yeah.
Because they haven't germinated.
Well, there's no heat.
There's no warmth. We all thought that little bit of warm we got was a tease and it would come along. Because we plant so many acres that we have to start early to get done on time.
Right.
In a timely manner. And nothing has emerged to speak of. So the problem we're having is are we going to be faced with having to go back and replant because those seeds rotted? There's only so much energy. There's only so many calories inside that little seed to get it from in the ground, to get it to emerge, to come out, to get the sunlight. And if the ground isn't warm enough, that seed will use up its calories, its energy, the starch, I should say, the starch inside the seed. And it will rot and decay, and then you'll just have to go back and replant.
So much, and really, these next 3 days, there's going to be a lot of rain.
Terrible.
Yeah.
I want to say that we had such a rough winter, as we've talked about in the past, with the snow and the cold extreme. And now all of a sudden, we thought spring would come along and be kind of decent. We're being faced with basically the same type of economic problem as we did in the wintertime.
Yeah.
Our seeds.
Somebody had said that that the long range forecast into the summer is potentially very much like this. Cooler than normal.
I hope you're wrong.
I hope it's
I want to smack the person who told you that.
Okay. All right. I'll let you know after.
No, that's what the farmers are faced with. So right now, the farmers are at total standstill. A week, 10 days ago, the sheriff, Rob Mashel, and I did a big campaign about slow-moving vehicles and pay attention on the rural roads because the farmers will be out moving around and starting to cut their hay and plant their crops and be on the roads. Well, I can officially tell you, don't take your mind off the farmers in rural communities, but for the next week to 10 days, everything is a complete standstill. Complete everywhere.
Yeah. Because even when it does stop, you still are dealing with the muddiness. It's so muddy. Yeah.
I mean, I drive by fields coming into work in the morning, and there's still pools of water
Yeah.
That they can't get the
And
equipment.
you can't mud your seeds in.
Well, you know how your own front yard is, your backyard. I mean, you may be, trying to mow. Like yesterday, there was a moment where I'm like, okay, if I don't mow now, I'm not going to be able to do anything until, if I'm lucky, Sunday.
Yeah.
So,
and the grass had gotten so high.
And thick. It's high and thick.
Yeah.
And the hay is right now is actually starting to go a little late on mowing the hay for the large dairy farmers, the farmers out there that make milk off this grass.
Yep.
They try to harvest it when it's in the boot. That means when the heads are just coming out, just starting to expose, when it's about a foot tall, 12 inches. Well, we've surpassed that in the last few days. So the grass out there that the farmers need for very high quality, high protein, high energy feed to feed the cows to make a lot of milk for this future Chobani plant that's coming into town, well, the quality of that hay is starting to go the other way. And if this continues, not only is the quality going to go the other way for the farmers, which means they'll make less milk per cow. Cows will still get fed, but it'll be less milk per pound of food. Also, the other problem is you're going to lose a cutting or a harvest at the end of the year, where they normally get 4 cuttings a year.
Right. Well, we were bragging like last year, talking about how getting that 4th cutting, which is unheard of because of
you're going to be a farmer,
I'm
Bill.
telling you.
Listen to him. Go.
As soon as you tell me how to kill the rabbits, I'll be a full-fledged farmer. How do you kill the rabbits?
Yeah.
They're driving. Every time I put something in the ground,
the rabbits eat it.
They eat it, and it's gone.
And they're trying to survive, Bill. You got to plant. You know what us farmers do to handle that, like in bear population problem and deer?
You kill them.
We either kill them, get a permit from the state of New York.
Calm down, Bill. Calm down.
For a nuisance. But the other thing you got to remember is we always have to plant a little extra for the wildlife. We really take that into account. People don't realize it, but us farmers, when we plant acres of feed or cow food and stuff like that, we always make sure the outside of the field is.
So my wife has and these come up every year, and they're bulbs. So they're perennials? No.
Perennials, because they come back on their own.
And they come back on their own, and it's right along the property. It's like a little line of them. They're beautiful. They're little flowers. No, I don't know that they're beautiful. We would never know. Because every year, by the time they come up, and it looks like they're going to blossom, the rabbit goes right down the line, and there are many rabbits because they multiply like rabbits, goes right down the line and takes out every single one of them.
Tell her to plant marigolds.
That's what I think we're going to do.
Yep.
They don't like marigolds?
They don't like marigolds.
Okay.
So I wanted to...
not 100%, but it'll help.
Okay.
So I wanted to expand. I don't know how we're doing on time, Bill, but I wanted to just say that I'm very, very, very impressed with the State of the County address, which I knew you were there. And I'm always, as you know, I know Tony Pacini, the county executive, very well. And every time something ag goes on in Nida County, I'm chirping in his ear. But this year, I did not have to mention to him or remind him about agriculture. You were there, Bill. You were there, Bill. And it was very refreshing to see I don't want to say the focal point is over expansion and things of that in Oneida County, but ag is really coming to fruition. So Oneida County is becoming very diverse in their development. We have all sorts of factories. We got Nexus and everything, and jobs. And now with Chobani coming and all the micro companies that will come along with it, as you know, it's just a win-win. So I just wanted to make sure and a shout out to your listeners.
Well, it is
we're very lucky here,
and we're seeing that the focus right now is how do we help farmers ramp up and get ready for that milk production that's going to be needed most likely in about a year.
About a year we got to start getting, and it's starting.
The other focus is on housing. If we're going to have people, if you're going to add 1,000 jobs here, you really need to make sure we have proper housing, appealing housing for people, and I think that's in the forefront right now. So there's a lot to do in order to prepare for the ramp up of Chobani.
And I want to say, I have mixed feelings with that part. Okay. And we need housing, no question about it. I get people coming to my farm all the time with that beautiful view I have up there in Star Hill and all the vast land I have, asking me, Ben, would you sell a corner lot? Would you sell a piece of land? But the other thing, whenever I hear people say we need more housing, I agree, okay? But my other side of my mind, the farmer side, is where's the first place when a developer goes to see if he can buy some land to put in a housing development?
Right.
Farmland. So I would try to encourage developers that are listening to your show today, please avoid farmland. Buy some wooded land. Buy some secondary.
Or redevelop land.
Yeah. Or redevelop. Thank you, Beth.
Yeah.
Because every time, I'm from New England, and I saw the farms disappear in my lifetime, from the 60s to now. That was beautiful farmland.
Yeah.
And now you go by and they put a road in the middle of it, and they'll put 30 houses around the most beautiful farmland. So if we need to make milk with cows to feed Chobani, which is the greatest thing, we need to preserve the farmland.
Yeah.
Keep solar panels away, and please keep your houses off of farmland. And
well, I know 2 sites right now that need some development, and maybe there's the opportunity, St. E's and St. Luke's. So those are 2 spots right off the bat. You know what? As you're driving along, there are plenty of areas where what used to be a business or a factory or whatever, and it's kind of run down and abandoned.
Oh, that's happening on Broad Street now. They're redoing that factory building.
There's an area where there's opportunity, and you don't have to take from farmland.
So now we have pressure on farmland. We have pressure to make more milk to keep our dairy industry going, but we also have pressure for housing.
Let me ask you this.
Sure.
Do you find that with the Chobani announcement, it becomes more appealing now, or let's say less appealing, for a farmer to sell off land to a solar panel company than it might be to say, you know what, I'm going all in, we're going to add dairy cows?
Well, there's 2 parts to that. So I'll answer the first part real quick and easy.
Or can they do both?
Yeah. First of all, the Trump administration has taken away a lot of the incentives for solar panels. So everybody that was negotiating for solar panels on their land, farmland and stuff, that has now gone away. You're hearing it very quietly, but it's evaporating. So second of all, no, you can't. The solar panel companies are paying anywhere between $1,000 to $1,500 an acre per year for 25 or 30-year leases to put solar panels on land.
Yeah.
A farmer cannot, no way can a farmer produce $1,000 an acre worth of hay or corn silage or soybeans or wheat or oats or any grain. So it comes to the economics that the money would still overcome on the solar. But the incentive is going away.
Right.
So I think the pressure on farmland for solar during this administration that we're in is dried up. You're not hearing it. It's gone away for now. So, no. To answer the question, Bill, no.
So
the farmers are going to ramp up.
If it is still out there, those opportunities for solar are still out there. It's pretty appealing for a landowner.
Yeah, it is.
However, it looks like that seems to be drying up
at this point.
And you have this opportunity with Chobani. Farmers are going to take advantage of that.
Yep. The ones that are really going to capitalize on this Chobani thing are the farmers that are bigger farmers, that want to grow, that continue to grow, and the larger co-ops that they belong to, like Dairy Farmers of America and other ones. Asked them a few years ago, right after COVID, hey, you got to tame it down a little bit. So they put in a quota system. Well, since this announcement of Chobani, those large co-ops have wiped away, sponged anything to do with quota system. They're opening the doors to these farmers. So you're progressive.
So they can now expand.
Now you can expand. They want you to expand, and they will help you find financing and everything else. But the other problem is, how many acres of land do we have? It's out there, surrounding areas. So it is a great boost. And the other thing that I'm noticing, too, is the lending institutions that lend money to farmers, the banks and the
well, you have the beauty.
They're excited.
The beauty of that is you have an income source. So the investment
you have a market.
Is the potential success of that investment has just skyrocketed.
Correct.
This
is just a huge thing. And it's not just huge for the farmer. It's going to be huge for the surrounding area because that money will spill over. Farmers are consumers. They buy pickup trucks. They buy tires.
The ripple effect.
The ripple effect.
Quickly, you can expect that when it does get sunny, we're going to have to spread the
manure will continue.
That liquid manure that is
the other thing I'd like to
a little on the smelly side
is on May 31st. It's in the Cooperative Extension newsletters. It's out in public. On Friday, May 31st.
Next week
at 4:30 to 8, is going to be the Farm Fest at the Donito Farm. They're on Benton Road, where they're going to open up the farm to the general public, and everyone is invited.
All right, cool.
May 31st.
That's next Friday. We'll talk more about that next week, maybe.
Yes.
Get you back for
Love
that.
to come back.
Hey everyone, it's Lisa from Whitesboro and Clinton Fit Body Boot Camp. And this summer, we're running a summer school. But don't worry, this one's way more fun. It's for teens and college students 16 and up who are home for the summer and ready to get stronger, healthier, and more confident fast. High energy workouts, a positive vibe, and the results to match. All in a fun, supportive environment. Spots are limited, so grab yours today. Summer school at Whitesboro and Clinton Fit Body Boot Camp, where we make sweat and success go hand in hand.
BME Company Business Machines and Equipment has been delivering office solutions for businesses in upstate New York for over 30 years. Their success comes from finding the right document management strategies and software solutions for streamlining workflows. Simply put, BME provides fast, reliable service at the best value to keep your business running smoothly. Through BME's strategic partnership with Hummel's Office Plus, they distribute supplies for just about every machine in your office at a great price. BME welcomes the opportunity to serve your business, selling, leasing, and service in Canon and Kyocera devices, as well as FP mailing solutions. An important part of BME's culture is supporting the communities they're fortunate to work in, and BME recognizes that support is one reason for their success. The future of business in BME's area is encouraging, and the company is grateful to be a part of that growth. Call BME Company at 315-574-8200 or visit BMEcompany.com. BME Company Office Solutions. Made simple.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM. I'm Megan Stone with your news update brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. Oneida City Police are asking the public to help them locate the Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers' most wanted person of the week. Authorities are seeking 54-year-old John Degoski, who is wanted on an arrest warrant for grand larceny in the 4th degree, which is a felony, and issuing a bad check. Both charges stem from a February incident where he allegedly paid a bad check over $2,600 to a local business. He is described as a white man who is 5'11" with blue eyes and dark blonde hair. His last known address was in Frankfurt. Anyone with information on his whereabouts can leave a 100% anonymous tip to the Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers by calling 866-730-8477 or via the P3 Tips mobile app. The International Boxing Hall of Fame will have its annual induction ceremony this weekend. The class of 2025 includes Manny Pacquiao, Jessica Chavez, Vinny Paz, and referee Kenny Bayless. Actress Sydney Sweeney will be the Grand Marshal for the Parade of Champions in Canastota. She is set to star in a film about female boxer Christy Martin, who was put in the Hall of Fame in 2020. For more information, head to ibhof.com. And the first full moon of the summer season will arrive next week. Bree Tennis with details on the arrival of the strawberry moon.
NASA says the strawberry moon will be visible in the night sky on June 11th, with peak moon viewing just before 1 a.m. Pacific time. Despite its name, the moon will not be pink, but it will look larger and brighter than usual. That's called a moon illusion, and it's due to the moon's low position in the sky that makes it appear larger. And do take a peek. Legend has it the strawberry moon brings luck and good fortune. I'm Bree Tennis.
And the final jewel in horse racing's prestigious Triple Crown is up for grabs at Saratoga Racecourse tomorrow. Kentucky Derby winner Sovereignty and Preakness champion Journalism highlight a field of 8 horses that will battle in the 157th Belmont Stakes. The race is happening at the Spa for a second straight year because of ongoing construction at Belmont Park. Because of the change of track, the race will be 1.25 miles instead of the traditional 1.5 miles. Post time tomorrow evening is set for 7:04 p.m. Your Weather Center forecast is next. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM. I'm Megan Stone.
Back into an, I guess, unsettled weather pattern with rounds of showers, thunderstorms the next couple of days. I think the tail end of the weekend gets a little better. Flood watches just to our south for some heavier rainfall. Through this morning, some fog, mist, a few showers, thunder showers around, and into the afternoon, scattered showers, thunderstorms. Could be a strong or severe storm right on into tonight. And tomorrow, more scattered storms with a high of 78. Slight chance of a shower Sunday. I'm meteorologist Ray Staging from the Weather Channel, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Ferris commercial mowers set the bar with racing-inspired patented full suspension and integrated cutting decks so you can go faster, cut better, and not get beat up. Ferris Experience Suspension. Take advantage of the best financing and prices of the year. Visit us at whitesfarmsupply.com.
We're the power in power equipment. White's Farm Supply.
If you need to hire, it seems like the whole process can be exhausting. You search resumes, wait for the right candidates to apply, set up initial interviews. It's a lot of time and work. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates for your job the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro is super easy to use. You simply pick a time, and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you can choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day. Best of all, you save time and energy.
Try Zip Intro for free right now at this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today, talk to qualified candidates tomorrow. Once again, go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This station is brought to you by Tallman's Tire, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Flag Day is June 14th, and the Frigo Agency and NYCM Insurance are celebrating with a flag exchange. Show your patriotism by flying a beautiful new American flag. Bring in your old, worn-out American flag to the Frigo Agency, 136 Clinton Road, Route 12B in New Hartford on Thursday, June 12th, and Friday, June 13th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and exchange it for a brand new one. They'll handle the proper, respectful disposal of the worn flags. Don't have a flag? Just stop in. They'll give you one. While supplies last, one per household, please.
Is thinning hair or a receding hairline making you self-conscious? Try Hair Grow by New Nordic. Millions of men and women around the world trust Hair Grow. With its patented tocotrienol complex, Hair Grow naturally reduces inflammation in the scalp and is clinically proven to promote new hair growth and increase hair count in as little as 4 months. Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start looking and feeling your best with Hair Grow. Available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com. Or in stores at your local CVS.
Now through June 30th, get up to $120 off 4 new Bridgestone or Firestone tires instantly at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair Centers. Whether you're in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, or Herkimer, their team of professionals are ready to serve you. Schedule your appointment today online at tallmanstire.com. Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Get the best tires for your vehicle at unbeatable prices guaranteed. Subject to credit approval, restrictions apply. See store for details.
Well, Jason, I've got to tell you, you're pretty much everything this company is looking for in an entry-level candidate.
Great.
Your resume isn't quite what we're used to, but you've got a fantastic work ethic.
Thank you.
And I'm impressed by how you carry yourself.
So, should we talk about the job?
What? The job? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I have no way of recruiting or even meeting you. This interview didn't happen.
It may sound ridiculous, and that's because it kind of is. There's a huge pool of talent your company is missing out on. Meet the grads of life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Man, we really could have used him.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
Real talk.
This is Bill Keeler.
It's Brian Kilmeade. Hey, girl. Jimmy Fallon in the house. Sean Hannity.
This is Guy Benson.
News you can trust. This is WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
In studio right now is, I want to say hello to Aiden and Morgan. Guys, good morning. Really, really tight on those microphones. You literally have to touch them.
No, you don't have to touch
them.
Well,
but pretty close. You got to be close to it.
Well, that's gross.
Good morning, Aiden.
Good morning.
And good morning, Morgan.
Good morning.
So you guys are, what class are you at Whitesboro?
I'm a junior.
Junior.
I go to Dodgeville, and I'm a senior.
Oh, you're at Dodgeville. Oh, interesting. All right. So And okay, so you guys are on your way back from the prom. Explain what happened.
So
this, by the way, this story went viral, and you guys were all over national news with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool.
So it was after prom. We went out to get dinner at One Jenny, and we ended up going to our friend's house, getting out of our prom clothes, and just getting into like our normal streetwear. And we decided to go to another friend's house, and on the way there, we just saw a huge garage just like erupted in flames. And
that's not something you see every day.
No, definitely not.
No.
It was crazy. So we
come closer to that mic.
So yeah, you get closer, and Morgan, could you move over closer to Aiden?
Yeah.
Like you like him. Perfect. Okay, go ahead.
So we saw the garage on fire, and then we ended up driving over there, which is where you see me start recording. I originally started recording in my car, and then I hopped out, and that's when I went up to the door and walked in the house. And
you walked right in?
Yeah, I went in the house, yeah. And there's 2 little girls and then a father. The girls are like screaming. I'm pretty sure they just found out what happened, so I just grabbed them and ran them across the road, and then Morgan comforted them, and my friend Donato, he's the one that called 911, and Tyler, he checked out the building that was actually like on fire right next to it.
So that was the garage, right?
Yeah, it was a separate garage, but it was right next to each other, and it did end up getting to some of the house.
You went into the house. You went into the house. That's a big deal. And because somebody might think, you wake up out of a sound sleep, they might think, let me get the bat and take care of this guy who's just come into the house. And Morgan, you saw all of this and you reacted as well.
Yeah. Well, when we were turning onto the road where our friend's house was, in the corner of my eye, I thought it was a bonfire at first, but once it really clicked in, I made sure to tell Aiden that I thought it was a house.
Yeah.
So that's when we went over, and he went in, and I made sure to comfort the children, because if I was a kid in that situation, I'd be freaking out.
Yeah.
So I think it's good to be calm in a situation like that.
It is.
And freak out.
So some people are calm during things like this. Some people are crazy as hoot owls, like they're nuts. It sounds like you guys all reacted very calmly, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Which will tell you that's how you're going to react when you get older and you have your own kids or whatever. So, right?
Yeah.
Do you know somebody that reacts crazy? I do.
Yeah.
It's like, everybody's going nuts. It's like, just calm down. You're scaring me now. Calm down. We're going to get in that house. We're going to save everybody. Ultimately, I think I saw you guys talking on TV. You downplayed the hero thing. Talk about that just a little bit.
So everyone was calling us like national heroes, and we saved their lives. But it's like, I feel like it's different because although the garage was separate, like I didn't really put myself in any danger, I don't think, because of how far I really was from the building that was actually on fire. When I went up to the door, you could like definitely feel the heat from it, but I don't think I really put myself in that much danger.
I think you put yourself in danger walking into the house.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
That alone is because you never know how crazy people are. And I'm not saying crazy people, but someone going through. You wake up in the middle of the night and you see a stranger in your house. Yeah. What's your initial response is, let me get the baseball bat.
That's why I was recording.
Yeah, that's why you're recording.
Yeah.
I also loved that. So it almost seems that today, and it's not just, people will blame it on your generation. It is not. Everybody seems to do it. The first thing you do when you see tragedy is you start taping. Mm-hmm. But the difference here is you guys did tape and you documented it, which is smart in many, many ways.
Yeah.
But you acted, and I think that is all the importance in the world there.
Thank you for like understanding that, because we've gotten so many people like saying like, oh, of course they got to record Gen Z. It's
and it's not Gen Z. It's not.
It's
believe
everybody.
Me.
It really is. Everybody.
It is. It's the first thing I do when we're going along, you see something crazy on the road is quick, get the camera out, get this. I could get some clicks out of this. Now I'll go help the person from the burning car.
So, but hang on a second. So Bill's question was about how you reacted to. Some say you're a hero for that, right? But are you telling me some people are criticizing you guys?
Yeah, we're getting.
You gotta be.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, go ahead. So explain. Was it just online stuff, or
yeah, like in Facebook comment, like like the comment sections on the posts, like some people are saying like, well, of course that's the least they could have done, or something along the lines of like, of course they were recording, they just wanted the clicks and views.
Oh, okay.
Actually, the least you could have done was just drive by.
Exactly.
Right. You could have. Oh well. Look at that's cool. Somebody's house is on fire. So the other part is you could have just called 911.
Yeah.
And left it at that. Yeah. But you went further than that. And I think that's and you stepping in, Morgan, to comfort the kids is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I have a niece, nephew, and a little brother, so I definitely value that a lot.
How did the people react to you guys?
I feel like they were more shocked than anything, and of course, like,
have you heard from them since?
Well, we did hear that the mom was very thankful because she wasn't there, and grateful, but that's really all we know.
Okay, all right.
So, at a minimum, extremely brave, and you guys did put yourself in harm's way, whether you know it or not, because you don't know what could have been in that garage. Something could have exploded, but you did it, to help out someone else. So anybody criticizing you is just
stupid.
That's just absurd.
Yeah.
Really brave and awesome what you guys did, and you should be proud of that.
Thank you. We
Thank
are.
you.
We definitely are.
Because there are a lot of people that just would have taped from afar and let somebody else come in and do the difficult work. So, but the other part of this that let's not forget is by doing what you did, you prevented the fire from spreading to the house.
Yeah.
Because it most definitely would have. And who knows what could have happened there. Once that smoke comes in that home, you don't know it's the smoke that kills you.
Yeah.
So, okay.
One more. I got to ask.
I
this.
do.
Do we know what started the fire? I asked earlier, and he chastised me.
Tell me it was a kerosene leak. And
the dad said like 5 minutes prior that he set a battery down in the garage, and within 2 minutes the whole garage was engulfed in flames because there was propane tanks and a truck in there.
Well, that's where you store all your paint and all your stuff.
Yeah.
And the other thing, these batteries, I mean, they're awesome. We have a ton of them now, and when they go up, they're very, very
kind
hot.
of a battery.
I'm not sure.
It's probably one of those the batteries you put in like your lawnmower or in a weed whacker or something.
Oh, wow.
I don't know for a fact, but I'm just saying.
It was pouring out the sides. It was really crazy. And the fire department chief did say that if it was another 5 minutes, then the house would have been involved.
It would have been in the thing. All right.
Wow, good job.
All right. Well, congratulations. Has anybody given you guys money? That'd be awesome.
I wish.
No.
The videos on Instagram and TikTok have gotten millions of views, and I wish I got some money from it.
Yeah, it'd be nice to think. You know what? We should.
I love your honesty, man.
We
That's
should
awesome.
monetize this. Why don't we monetize this? That's very cool. And then what do you plan to do next year? Will be your senior year. What do you guys plan to do?
Well, when I grow up, I want to be a state trooper. But
okay.
Until then, I'm probably just gonna keep working at one, Jenny.
Yeah. Good luck. My wife says men never grow up, but
I don't know. He's pretty tall. Did you see him? He can put you on his shoulders. He's up there.
Trust me, he'll do far better than me. And then Morgan, what are your plans?
Well, I'm going to attend Utica University.
Nice.
Biology.
Okay. All right. My daughter was chemistry. She was a chemistry major, so. We didn't understand her homework. I'm sure I wouldn't understand yours either. Okay, guys, congratulations. Great job.
Thank you so much.
Really, really impressive. Quick break. We'll come right back at WIBX.
With Mattress Express's guaranteed lowest price, bring in any locally advertised price on a mattress we carry, and we will beat the price. Within 90 days of purchase, see it advertised for less, bring it to our attention, we'll refund the difference. Mattress Express.
Business owners everywhere are raving about ZipRecruiter's new feature, Zip Intro, which does the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates to meet with you as soon as the next day. So we decided to call up some of these employers and hear their stories. Today, we're on the phone with Pilates studio owner Crystal M. Harris. Crystal, how has Zip Intro helped you hire?
Well, I was opening a Pilates studio in McDonough, Georgia, and I needed to staff up quickly. Zip Intro did the work for me. It helped me find enthusiastic candidates who matched my qualifications perfectly.
That's great.
Yeah, I had my Zip Intro session on Tuesday, did all the interviews by Thursday, sent out the offers on Friday, and they started on Monday. Because Zip Intro did most of the work, I saved so much time.
Absolutely. And to our listeners, you can try Zip Intro for free right now at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow.
This station is brought to you by Tallman's Tire, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Start your AM with more info ASAP.
It's the only way to start the day.
Keeler on WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
You know, for 100 years, you're not doing too bad.
I know. I think I look good for 100.
I think so, too.
Yeah, well, that's what I tell people when they say, man, you look old. I'm like, you realize I'm 100. I think I look pretty damn good for 100 years old.
I feel it.
Listen, on December 5th of this year, WIBX turns 100 years old. It's pretty wild, right?
Yeah, it's a long time.
It is it's an incredible...
I think we still have some of the original equipment in here.
Not in here. I had taken
That's true. They redid it.
I took some family over to the old building the other day.
Oh, yeah?
And which is over by the Utica Curling Center. And you can't get in there.
Yeah.
It's all locked up. And I think everything's been purged. Everything good is gone.
Pretty vacant. Yeah, it's pretty vacant in there.
But when I walked in after I started here back in 2012 or 13, whatever it was, you'd walk in there were memos on the wall. It was like a big nuclear explosion, and the building survived, but none of the people did. And there's a coffee cup on somebody's table with moldy coffee still in it. I mean, people just up and walked out. It's like, we're moving to the new place. And here we are today.
You're absolutely correct. It literally was one day there, next day here. Go ahead.
I still worked over there for a little while until I actually came over here because they need somebody there to stay there for a while.
Just to monitor and And then I swear to God, when I first started here, there wasn't even a lock on the door. Nothing was locked up. People would walk right in.
Yeah.
Have some parties.
One of the things was, and Davey might know more about this, there was still transferring of equipment, and there was still stuff that we needed there. It was kind of figuring it out. Some equipment stuff was still figuring it out on the go. And then, of course, our former engineer, Tim, had a ton of equipment. He had equipment from... I don't want to say, how do I want to say this? All different varieties, through generations. Equipment that he had maybe as a backup that, if one thing doesn't work, you need something else. So he had all kinds of stuff. Man, the stuff that he had.
And people
could have started a radio or a communications museum with the stuff that he had.
People do not realize, some might, but that the WIBX towers are over there.
Yes.
Those are the towers we still use.
Yes.
The transmitter is still over there.
Yes.
That's where we really do broadcast from. So, not here. I mean, we do. You know what I mean.
We broadcast from here, but the signal's transmitted,
In studio right now is Jim White with the Ride for Missing Children. James, good morning. Thanks so much for coming in this morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Sorry you had to sit through that little piece of history, but 100 years.
That's a long time.
Long time. A lot of things have happened. In the news, when you really think about it,
oh my goodness,
years.
Yeah.
Okay, how many years is the Ride for Missing Children now? What are we up to?
This is the 29th year.
29 years. And in those 29 years, what have you accomplished?
Well, we've raised lots of money to... the mission has changed. We used to raise money for paper posters. Well, that's gone away. It's now all electronic. But we've brought thousands and thousands of children home as a result of our activities. Plus... we also give money to the National Center Missing Exploited Children. They wonderful organization. They have educational programs. They train law enforcement, students, parents, everybody else. So
there are so many elements of training, right? Depending on who you are and what your situation is, you may be the parent, the school districts, the teachers, and I mean, there's so much that we all can do to prevent something bad from happening.
That is true. We were just talking last night on a training ride. AI has changed the face of the game, too.
Yeah,
now it's they're using that in sextortion, and there's hundreds of thousands of cases of that every year. And we're talking, as I said last night, and a couple dozen children have committed suicide because of that.
Terrible.
NCMEC does have a program, Take It Down, which will take all these images off the web.
Yeah. And I think there's new legislation that is probably going to pass. That is, it's Take It Down legislation. So I think it's about time, right? Okay, Ride for Missing Children. What can you tell us? Can people still get involved? All of that.
Too late for that.
Yeah.
We opened registration January 1st. We close it April 1st. We have to order apparel and everything else and do our planning. But too late to register. Be on the lookout next January 1st.
Yeah.
For the 30th year. As you said, this 29th year, this year we're leaving Elevate Sports Complex, Route 233 at 8:15 in the morning, riding through Utica, Marcy, Rome, Oriskany, Verona, going to Oneida, where we turn around and start heading back. We get to New Hartford Rec Center at about 4:30.
And it's I think every year it's ended there, right?
Yes, it has.
Yeah. One of the cool things that you guys do is stop into schools.
Yes, we do. We'll be seen by 2,600 kids on our ride. We'll be riding by 8 schools, stopping at 4 more for rest stops and meals.
Awesome. And then how many will be riding this year?
We have 171 registered riders. We've got 54 volunteers, 30 family members of missing or recovered children will be with us that day. And so that's
that is that's pretty impressive.
That is what's at the hook for me.
Yeah.
The family members. It's the impact you can have on those people. It's pretty impactful.
And most children who come up missing, they know the person who is the abductor.
That's
oftentimes.
Correct. Yep.
More so than
stranger abductions are fairly rare.
Yeah, and but however, that's really what inspired everything that we do.
Yes,
Sarah Ann Wood.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So it's really quite incredible. All right, what do you want people to know? It's Friday. You guys got to be out there, so be on the lookout.
Yep, yeah. It's, having people roadside to cheer us on is pretty inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
This year, you should be able to follow us in real time on the road. If you go to our website, rfmc-mv.org. Scroll down and to news and updates, and there'll be a link there to find out the real-time progress of the ride.
We'll be watching for you on Friday.
Appreciate it.
We appreciate what you do there. So
thanks very much.
All right, that is the Ride for Missing Children, and it's this Friday. Be on the lookout. It all ends right around 6:30ish.
Oh no, 4:30.
4:30 now.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. At the New Hartford Rec Center.
Correct.
Okay. I always remember it being around 6 o'clock.
Well, it used to be, but when our ride was...
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome. W295EI. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Celebrating 100 years.
Maybe they won't talk. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Reuters report that there won't be a call today between President Trump and Elon Musk, contradicts what Politico had said that they will. The day after a public feud following Musk, who led Doge's federal cutbacks, railing against the president's budget bill.
Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if we will anymore.
Fox's Peter Ducey's at the White House.
The lowest blows came from Elon's side when he posted, "Without me, Trump would have lost the election." And then this one, time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public.
Referencing the Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking case, he had committed suicide in jail awaiting trial. Now, Musk appears open to cooling things off, with a few posts on X seeming to agree with people urging him and the president to stop feuding. President Trump's latest attempt to punish Harvard, accusing the university of letting anti-Semitism thrive on campus, has been blocked. His order attempted to prevent Harvard from enrolling new foreign students. Fox's Kristen Goodwin reports.
In an updated complaint, Harvard asks a federal judge to block the order, accusing the Trump administration of unlawfully retaliating against the school and violating First Amendment rights.
And the judge did, ruling in Harvard's favor. Russia bombarded Ukraine overnight after leader Vladimir Putin had vowed to retaliate to Ukraine's big weekend drone attack deep inside Russia. In the overnight barrage, Russia launched more than 400 drones and missiles, doing damage in several regions of Ukraine, killing at least 3 people. Now to France. That ceremony commemorates the D-Day battle that was raging 81 years ago on the beaches of Normandy, key to defeating the Nazis in World War II.
We must teach our kids and grandkids to understand, to remember, and to live worthy.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth in Normandy, along with nearly 24 survivors who fought there and have returned. Some are over 100 years old. America's listening to Fox News.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
It's been 3 weeks since a New Orleans jailbreak, and 2 of the 10 who escaped are still on the run. Antoine Massey and Derek Groves, who's a convicted murderer. So is Grant Hardin, a former police chief who broke out of an Arkansas prison 12 days ago.
Deputy U.S. Marshal Robert Hammond said in a federal court filing there were 2 unconfirmed sightings of Hardin, one in central Arkansas and another in southern Missouri. That leads him to believe Hardin has left the state and may be hiding in caves or rugged terrain. Meanwhile, the U.S. Border Patrol says it's deploying a tactical unit that can help provide advanced search and operation support. Hardin escaped from prison wearing a makeshift law enforcement uniform. Jill Nato, Fox News.
Later this hour, we'll get the May employment update, expected to show less hiring than in April, about 130,000 jobs predicted. Economists also expect the unemployment rate to remain 4.2%. On Wall Street, ahead of that, stock futures are on the rise. A dramatic start to the NBA Finals. The Indiana Pacers pull off another comeback win, down 15 in the fourth quarter. In Oklahoma City, they rallied again. And again, Tyrese Halliburton hits a last-second game-winning shot, beating the Thunder 111-110. Fox's Jared Mack says more.
The Pacers have been the comeback kids these entire playoffs. Late April, they erased a 7-point deficit with 34 seconds left in overtime and beat the Bucks on a Tyrese Halliburton shot. In May, the Pacers came back from 7 down against the Cavaliers with 48 seconds left and won by a point on a shot by Halliburton. May 21st against the Knicks, Indiana came back from 9 points down with 51 seconds left to force overtime on a Halliburton shot. Then Indiana won in OT. Last night, Halliburton, the last-second hero again.
Coach, trust us in those moments to not call timeouts. Trust me in those moments. Guys, trust me.
That was on ABC. Game 2 of the NBA Finals Sunday night. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Good morning. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 8:05. I'm Megan Stone with your news update, brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica. Commercial Drive in Yorkville, 66 degrees under cloudy skies. Your full weather forecast is coming up next. New Hartford police made an arrest over a burglary of a residential home on Clinton Road. Police say they were called to the residence before noontime Wednesday and learned a male suspect fled the area on foot. He was picked up a short distance away in around State Route 12 at Merritt Place. Authorities arrested 42-year-old Joshua Mercantile and determined he stole property from the home. He was charged with second-degree burglary, which is a felony, and petty larceny. He was held at Oneida County Jail pending arraignment. The International Boxing Hall of Fame will have its annual induction ceremony this weekend. The class of 2025 includes Manny Pacquiao, Jessica Chavez, Vinny Paz, and referee Kenny Bayless. Actress Sydney Sweeney will be the Grand Marshal for the Parade of Champions in Canastota. She is set to star in a film about female boxer Christy Martin, who was put in the Hall of Fame in 2020. For more information, head to ibhof.com. New York City school officials are challenging the ICE detainment of a public school student last month. Bronx Ellis Prep School student Dylan Lopez Contreras, a Venezuelan migrant, was taken into custody by ICE on May 21st. following a routine immigration court hearing. Mayor Eric Adams' office notes the 20-year-old has no criminal history, had applied for asylum, and was pursuing a pathway to a green card. The city is calling for Contreras' release and has filed an amicus brief that argues he was denied his right to due process, adding the city is less safe when immigrants are afraid to use public resources and attend court hearings. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security argues he entered the U.S. illegally. And drinking coffee daily may be tied to healthy aging in women. According to a study presented at American Society for Nutrition, researchers used a large sample size and 30 years of follow-up to assess several different aspects of longevity and healthy aging. The study found after 3 decades, there were 3,706 women who met the definition of healthy age. It consists of, quote, living to age 70 or older, being free from 11 major chronic diseases, maintaining physical function, having good mental health, exhibiting no cognitive impairment, and showing no memory complaints. Alternatively, researchers found no link between healthy aging and decaffeinated coffee or tea, but the study found caffeinated soda lowered participants' chances of healthy aging by 20 to 26%. Your WIBX news time is 8:07. Here is your Weather Center forecast.
Back into an, I guess, unsettled weather pattern with rounds of showers, thunderstorms the next couple of days. I think the tail end of the weekend gets a little better. Flood watches just to our south for some heavier rainfall. Through this morning, some fog, mist, a few showers, thunder showers around, and into the afternoon, scattered showers, thunderstorms. Could be a strong or severe storm right on into tonight. And tomorrow, more scattered storms with a high of 78. Slight chance of a shower Sunday. I'm meteorologist Ray Staging from the Weather Channel, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now it is 66 degrees under cloudy skies. Let's take a look at sports. Brought to you by the IBEW 43 local sports desk, the Pacers drew first blood with an epic win in the NBA Finals. The team took down the Thunder 111-110 in Game 1. Tyrese Halliburton hit the game-winning shot with less than a second left and finished with 14 points for Indy. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander led all scorers with 38 points, which hopes to even the best of 7 series when Game 2 tips off on Sunday. The Oilers, they're leading the Stanley Cup Final after picking up an overtime victory in Game 1. Edmonton will be looking to defend home ice once again when it hosts the Florida Panthers in Game 2 today. Teams that take a 2-0 series lead in the Cup Final technically go on to win. Edmonton's Connor McDavid is leading the postseason with 28 points, while Florida's Sam Bennett has scored a league high of 12 goals this spring. The Mets came up short in their series finale against the Dodgers. They fell 6-5. Pete Alonso led the way at the plate after going 3 for 4 with a solo homer and 2 RBIs. The Yankees, they captured their rubber match against the Guardians, earning a 4-0 shutout in the series finale. Cody Bellinger went 2 for 4 with a 2-run homer and 3 RBIs. New York leads the AL East after winning 3 of its last 4 games, and they host the Red Sox for a 3-game series starting tonight. Aaron Rodgers, he's signing a year contract with the Steelers. Rodgers told the Steelers he's flying into Pittsburgh tomorrow to officially sign and join the team ahead of next week's minicamp. He spent the last 2 seasons with the Jets after playing 18 seasons with the Green Bay Packers. He's 41 and he won a Super Bowl with the Packs in 2010. Veteran quarterback Russell Wilson knows he can be a leader to every member of his new team. The Giants' newest signal caller, who was signed to take over as starter, will be tasked to help develop rookie quarterback Jackson Dart. Russell said he won't be limiting his guidance to just Dart. He emphasized that it's about everybody in the building. Dart was taken by the Giants with the 25th overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. 2 players are tied atop the leaderboard after the first round of the RBC Canadian Open. Torbjörn Olesen and Cristobal de Solar each shot a 9 under 61 to open the tournament at the TPC Toronto at Osprey Valley. Cameron Champ, he's in 3rd at 8 under par. Defending champ Robert McIntyre tied for 9th at 5 under par. Aaron Baddeley, Matty Schmidt, and Harry Higgs will be among the first group of players teeing off for round 2. The NASCAR Cup Series is back Sunday. The field battles at Michigan International Speedway for the Firekeepers Casino 400. Ryan Blaney is looking for his 2nd straight win after taking home the checkered flag last weekend in the Cracker Barrel 400. He sits 7th in the standings while William Byron, Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, Danny Hamlin, and Chase Elliott. They make up the top 5, and the women's final is set at the French Open. Top-seeded Aryna Sabalenka defeated 5th-seeded and 3-time defending tournament champion Iga Swiatek after 3 sets to advance her first French Open final. She will be playing for her 4th major title after winning twice at the Australian Open and once at the U.S. Open. In other women's semifinals, 2nd-seeded American Coco Gauff cruised to a straight sets victory over Lois Besson. Gauff and Sabalenka will square off for the title on Saturday. Go Coco. In men's semifinal action, top-seeded Jannik Sinner faces 6th-seeded Novak Djokovic, while 2nd-seeded Carlos Alcaraz will play 8th-seeded Lorenzo Musetti. The action continues this morning. Your WIBX news time is 8:12. 66 degrees under cloudy skies. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM. I'm Megan Stone. This station is brought to you by Tallman's Tire, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Now through June 30th, get up to $120 off 4 new Bridgestone or Firestone tires instantly at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair Centers. Whether you're in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, or Herkimer, their team of professionals are ready to serve you. Schedule your appointment today online at tallmanstire.com. Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Get the best tires for your vehicle at unbeatable prices guaranteed. Subject to credit approval, restrictions apply. See store for details.
Flag Day is June 14th, and the Frigo Agency and NYCM Insurance are celebrating with a flag exchange. Show your patriotism by flying a beautiful new American flag. Bring in your old, worn-out American flag to the Frigo Agency, 136 Clinton Road, Route 12B in New Hartford on Thursday, June 12th, and Friday, June 13th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and exchange it for a brand new one. They'll handle the proper, respectful disposal of the worn flags. Don't have a flag? Just stop in. They'll give you one. While supplies last, 1 per household, please.
Beautiful woodwork adds warmth and charm to any kitchen. But years of use can leave your cabinets worn and faded. When you call Enhance, we'll make your cabinets as good as new again in as little as 1 day for a lot less than you'd pay for traditional refinishing or replacements. Whether you want to renew your cabinet's original finish or completely change their color, just tell us the look you want and we'll help you get it. Or bring your hardwood floors back to life. With most Enhance renewals, you can use your floors again the same day. Plus, there's no mess, no dust, and no odors. Call Enhance today for a free in-home consultation. We'll explain the process, we'll show you how your cabinets or floors will look when we're done, and we promise you'll be really pleased with the price. And when you trust Enhance, you'll get the skilled workmanship and attention to detail we bring to every job. There's no obligation. Call us now at 738-1113. 738-1113.
On Friday's Guy Benson Show, the fallout of the Musk-Trump feud. Shannon Bream of Fox News Sunday breaks down some huge Supreme Court decisions, unanimous ones. Riley Gaines is here, so is former Energy Secretary Dan Brouillette. What a week. We're breaking it all down on the Guy Benson Show Friday edition coming up.
Guy Benson, airing at 7, only on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Keeler in the morning. Brian Kilmeade, Jimmy Fallon, and Sean Hannity during your workday. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
All right, in studio, let's see. We have Chief, and I'm going to let you guys identify yourselves. Pull the mics. Oh, there's 3 of you in here. You're all going to talk? So you guys just share mics here, and who wants to start?
Good morning. I'm Chief Kevin Kalk with the Barnard Fire Department.
Chief, good morning, and you are?
Chief Jared Perot of Maynard Fire Department.
Okay, and
Steve Krusky, owner of Riverside Pools.
Recognize you over there. Are you wearing shorts?
Yes, I am.
You're always in those TV commercials. I envy you. You know what it is, because I grew up in a house where my father always ran a wood stove, and it was so hot. It'd be 20 degrees below zero, and we're running around in shorts. And you
Absolutely.
and you have some great options for heating over there as well.
Yeah, you're always warm in there.
They're always warm. All right, let's explain, Chiefs, what's going on here. Who wants to start? It's going to be you.
We've teamed up with Riverside Pools. I want to give credit where credit's due,
Yes.
Bill. So Steve Krusky probably should talk about what he wants to do
All right,
first, because
Steve.
he's the one that brainstormed this.
Let's go with you.
Well, what we did was we sell a lot of these grills, and they give you a bonus on one grill island, and they were changing the model. So I said to Randy Caldwell and Jared Pearl, I'd like to donate it to the Ladies Auxiliary of Maynard Fire Department for a fundraiser.
Yeah.
And then the catastrophe happened up to Barneville. I live in Barneville.
So much snow.
So much snow on the barn. Yeah. I said, not for nothing, but I think we should, if it's up to you guys, donate it to Barneville for a raffle so they can make some money on it. And they were right on board. So we contacted Cock, and everything's a go. We got tickets at Riverside Pools, Countryside Stoves. We got them through.
How much are tickets?
$10 a ticket.
That's really.
It's cheap.
Considering if you win, it's like a $10,000 prize.
It's a grill island, all marble top, stainless steel, high-end grill. It's not one of your low specials.
Yeah.
But you can get tickets at my store. You can get them at the Maynard Fire Department. They have VEMA. They have Barneville Fire Department, DeSantis Meat Market, Mercantile Market in Barneville, and Nimes Automotive in Barneville as well.
All right. Gentlemen from the fireside, just talk a little bit about what happened. I mean, that snow this year was, and listen, we all got a lot of snow. I'm in New Hartford. We got a lot of snow, but nothing compared to what you guys dealt with up north.
Yep, the North Country got a good old-fashioned winter this year. Members, we had been responding to a few building collapses that week. We had a plan in the works to go on the station and shovel the roof on Sunday afternoon, let the members take care of their own homes on Friday and Saturday. And Saturday afternoon, the catastrophe happened. I can't say enough about the fire service. One of the worst radio calls I've ever had to make was calling fire control and tell them our station collapsed. That was I've been chief 14 years, and worst call I've ever had to make. But the brotherhood, sisterhood of the fire service has stepped up to help support us to get us back into our home. We're in the design phase right now with our design company, and hopefully be starting construction in a few months.
And I'm assuming the design phase will be to prevent something like this from happening again.
Actually, one of the things we have learned, there's a new code out there since 2020. Emergency services buildings have to be built 20% higher snow load in a standard structure.
Okay.
So, all of that is being taken into the account with our design company.
The other part is these are big buildings.
Yes.
That's I wonder, did there come a point where you knew this was going to happen, or was it all a surprise?
I was actually in my office at the firehouse getting ready for our annual installation dinner.
So you were inside?
And I was inside, and I heard some cracking noises, and I went around the station to investigate, and actually walked outside and found the break in the first truss of the roof structure.
Wow.
Poking through the front wall. Immediately sent a text message out to the members saying help needed immediately at the station. We were able to get all of our apparatus out, all of our equipment out. We did lose some minor equipment, which will all be replaced by insurance.
But really, at that point, you're putting your lives in danger.
The biggest fear we had was actually, for anybody who knows building construction, when you raise the overhead door, the weight's going to the roof.
Right.
Because they're mounted to the trusses where the tracks are. So honestly, we thought the roof might have caved in when we were trying to get the trucks out. But fortunately, we did get crews up there. Neighboring fire departments showed up. We tried getting the roof shoveled. And then it happened.
And then it happened. Do you want to add to, obviously we're all one, right? Even though we're not, we all work together. That's what has come out of some of these disasters in the last year, that everybody has everybody else's backs.
You're 100% right, Bill. And especially in the volunteer service, sometimes membership is declining in the volunteer service, but we feed off each other. We work together, whether it's Barneville, Maynard, Whitesboro, any department in the area, Yorkville. We all work together 100%, and we back each other up. The big thing here is the reason this fundraiser is happening is insurance doesn't cover everything. You know what the building at, and what the prices are now to rebuild the building are off the charts.
Yep.
So people,
good people in the community like Krusky and everybody else coming out and donating something like this so that we can make money to help offset their insurance costs is huge.
Yeah.
And that's the name of the game. It's not just Maynard stepping up to help, and Riverside, other departments have stepped up. Old Forge, a couple other ones have stepped up and donated stuff and done fundraisers. We have to offset this cost to help the community.
And listen, this is everything to a community, right? This is your safety. It's life-saving. It's so far beyond property. It's incredibly important. So, all right, nice job.
Thank you.
You want to review again how people can get a ticket? It's $10 a ticket.
$10 a ticket. You can get them at Countryside Stove, Riverside Pools. You can contact the Maynard Fire Department, the Barneville Fire Department, Mercantile Market in Barneville, Tisanis Meat Market in Barneville, and Nimes Automotive. They all have tickets. The drawing is going to be Father's Day at the end of the chicken barbecue at Barneville.
Okay.
They have the best chicken barbecue in Barneville, and you can purchase tickets there as well at the chicken barbecue.
Okay. You want to add?
Yep. The annual Father's Day Chicken Barbecue, June 15th. It'll be at the Town of Trenton Town Hall, right next to the former site of the firehouse, 8520 Old Poland Road. $15 for a complete dinner, and then you can pick up a ticket for the grill.
Now, Steve said it's the best barbecue in Barneville. I have heard it may be the best in the world.
I've always said it's the best barbecue north of the canal. We take a little shot at Maynard.
All right.
Well,
we take a little shot at Maynard Fire Department.
This is the brotherhood.
This is the brotherhood. That's exactly right. All right, gentlemen, thank you for what you do, and good luck. I hope you make a ton of money. And Steve, great job at Riverside. Thank you. Okay, let me break quickly, and I'll wrap it up here. Hold on tight.
We're the power and power equipment. White's Farm Supply.
At Kubota, we want to help you deliver a job done right. That's why we want you to know that new Kubota inventory is arriving daily. You have work to do. We have the reliable, durable, and versatile lineup to help you do it. Visit us at whitesfarmsupply.com.
We're the power and power equipment. White's Farm Supply.
Spring is in the air, and so are the savings at Adirondack Home Furniture in Utica. Now is the perfect time to refresh your space with their incredible spring sale. Discover a beautiful selection of high-quality, USA-made furniture that brings together timeless style and lasting durability. Whether you're updating a single room or reimagining your entire home, Adirondack Home Furniture has just what you need, with unbeatable prices that won't stretch your budget. Looking to elevate your outdoor living? Don't miss their best prices of the season on indoor and outdoor furniture. Perfect pieces for spring and summer lounging. Take advantage of flexible financing options to make your dream home more affordable than ever, and enjoy free local delivery on every purchase. Shop at your own pace in a low-pressure atmosphere with help from experienced interior designers who are ready to bring your vision to life. Visit Adirondack Home Furniture at Riverside Center, Utica, or online at AdirondackHomeFurniture.com. Adirondack Home Furniture. Create the home and the patio you've always dreamed of.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM. I'm Megan Stone with your news update, brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. New Hartford police made an arrest over a burglary of a residential home on Clinton Road. Police say they were called to the residence before noontime Wednesday and learned a male suspect fled the area on foot. He was picked up a short distance away around State Route 12 at Merritt Place. Authorities arrested 42-year-old Joshua Mercantile and determined he stole property from the home. He was charged with second-degree burglary, which is a felony, and petty larceny. He was held at Oneida County Jail pending arraignment. New York State Police are investigating a series of fights that broke out at Sylvan Beach Wednesday. The brawls happened in the afternoon and evening hours on Bridge Street, then on Main Street and Park Avenue. Police, along with the Oneida County Sheriff's Office, said a majority of the fights involved juveniles and that no arrests were made when the situation was brought under control. Police responded to an unconfirmed report of a stabbing but have not found evidence, and instead the most severe injury reported was a bloody nose. The weather is getting warmer summer, and the Governor Traffic Safety Committee is warning about the dangers of heat stroke. The agency is urging people to never leave children, vulnerable adults, or pets inside a hot car. Temperatures don't have to be high for conditions inside a vehicle to become unsafe. Data showed 39 kids died of heat stroke in vehicles last year, which is up 35% from 2023. If you see a child or animal left in a hot car, dial 911 immediately. And drinking coffee daily may be tied to healthy aging in women. According to a study presented at the American Society for Nutrition, researchers used a large sample size and 30 years of follow-up to assess several different aspects of longevity and healthy aging. The study found after 3 decades, there were 3,706 women who met the definition of a healthy age. It consists of living to age 70 or older, being free from 11 major chronic diseases, maintaining physical function, having good mental health, exhibiting no cognitive impairment, and showing no memory complaints. Alternatively, researchers found no link between healthy aging and decaffeinated coffee or tea, but the study found caffeinated soda lowered participants' chances of healthy aging by 20 to 26%. Your Weather Center forecast is next. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM. I'm Megan Stone.
Back into an, I guess, unsettled weather pattern with rounds of showers, thunderstorms the next couple of days. I think the tail end of the weekend gets a little better. Flood watches just to our south for some heavier rainfall. Through this morning, some fog, mist, a few showers, thunder showers around, and into the afternoon, scattered showers, thunderstorms. Could be a strong or severe storm right on into tonight. And tomorrow, more scattered storms with a high of 78. Slight chance of a shower Sunday. I'm meteorologist Ray Staging from the Weather Channel, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Real talk.
This is Bill Keeler.
It's Brian Kilmeade. Hey, girl. Jimmy Fallon in the house.
Sean Hannity.
This is Guy Benson.
News you can trust. This is WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
In studio right now is Joe Silberlich. He is the festival director at Judica. And he's with us right now. Good morning. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning. I'm delighted to be here and thrilled to come right after the Manson
Yes,
family.
right after the Manson thing. Jeff, could you move that mic down? And then if you are really tight on that mic, you literally almost have to be touching it. My apologies for and then this one here is blocking us.
Oh, gotcha.
See? Yeah. There we go. A little housekeeping, and we're good to go. Let's talk about this year's festival, Judica.
Okay.
I think it's more important this year than in a long time.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
It's a time when Jews around the country are somewhat nervous because of the events that's happened over the last few weeks in 3 different places around the country. But we're quite confident that the people of Utica are going to embrace this rather than attack it.
What do you, we don't even want to talk about that. This is coming up, by the way, this Sunday on the 8th.
Correct.
This Sunday. Where is it being held? How can people take advantage and all of that?
Sure. It's at the Jewish Community Center at 2310 Oneida Street.
Okay.
We run from noon until 6. And if people really want to enjoy it, what we recommend is if you don't live within walking distance, there's not very much parking available on site. We do have a free shuttle that's running from Temple Emmanuel, which is on Genesee Street, right at the corner of Genesee Street and Higbee Road.
Yep.
Free shuttle.
Bring you right up.
Free shuttle all day long.
Nice.
Bring you up to the festival site and take you back.
I am a big fan of Jewish food. So what will you be serving?
I'm glad you asked that question.
Yeah. It's not easy up here. There's not a lot of kosher up
There's not a lot of kosher up here, but we are emphasizing the availability of kosher food at this festival this year. So the kosher menu is going to include falafel from Chabad of Clinton. And then from our folks affiliated with the festival, we're going to be serving pastrami sandwiches, kosher pastrami sandwiches, kosher potato latkes, kosher hot dogs, and all the fixings go along with that as well.
You look like you have a question.
I think I'm going to go just to try the pastrami sandwich. To be honest with you.
So the kosher pastrami is coming in from Rochester, and I'm told that it's fabulous.
Okay, nice. And to talk about kosher, for those who don't know, what is kosher and why it's not kosher to walk into a Jewish deli in New York City and ask for a pastrami on rye with cheese?
So the simple answer is kosher is a set of dietary laws that observant Jews follow. Yeah. And the primary one is that you don't mix milk and meat, coming from a stricture against boiling a calf in its mother's milk, essentially.
I see, okay.
But there are additional rules that go along with that in terms of how animals are slaughtered, in terms of how food is prepared, and essentially making sure that meat and dairy never touch.
Yeah.
But that's a very strict observance.
And tough to, if you're Jewish, tough to do in this area right now. There's just not a lot of opportunity for kosher foods.
Well, the people who follow kosher know where to find it, and they'll bring stuff in from Rochester, from Albany. Price Chopper is very good about helping people find what they want, but it's definitely a I don't want to say it's a chore, but it's more work than just going to the grocery store.
Yeah. So people who want to show up, it's this Sunday. And obviously you talked about the getting the shuttle and coming in, but it's really just a great celebration of Jewish culture.
It is, and we're focused. We just talked about what kind of food we're serving, but one of the highlights is we have a guest chef each year coming in, and our guest chef this year is Micah Siva, and she just wrote this book called Nosh, which is about plant-forward Jewish food. Jewish food traditionally, particularly the stuff that's traditional from Eastern Europe, is not necessarily all that healthy given the use of chicken fat and things like that.
Yeah.
Well, this is healthy Jewish food with the taste and the look of what is traditional, but way better for you. And she'll be demonstrating a couple of dishes, and people will be able to taste that. That's happening in the, I think it's about 1:30, 2 o'clock.
Okay.
And we've brought in, this is the fourth year now that we've brought in Jewish chefs who have new cookbooks out.
That's awesome.
And that's really exciting.
Yeah.
The other thing that's happening all day long is music. And our highlighted band this year is called Boychik from Syracuse.
Almost out of time. I hate to do this, but the website they can go to get all of these details.
Judica.com. Yep.
We wish you the best and hope it's awesome. I think the weather's going to be on your side this time.
We're counting on it.
Looking good.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Joe. We appreciate it.
You're great at protecting your personal information. You might even use things like two-factor authentication and strong passwords. But as much as you try to control how your info's protected, there are other places that also have it, and they may not be as careful. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save 40% your first year with my name Clay as the promo code at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Now through June 30th, get up to $120 off 4 new Bridgestone or Firestone tires instantly at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair Centers. Whether you're in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, or Herkimer, their team of professionals are ready to serve you. Schedule your appointment today online at tallmanstire.com. Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Get the best tires for your vehicle at unbeatable prices guaranteed. Subject to credit approval, restrictions apply. See store for details.
First News with Keeler in the Morning on WIBX.
And ladies and gentlemen, from Betters Anonymous, here he is, the man with the plan, Scott in Kirkville. Good morning.
Well, first of all, when I was trying to guess what that sound was that Simon and
Franco? Sounds of Silence?
The Sound of Silence.
See, that's where my mind went.
You got me.
Yes.
You nailed me right on that one.
Hey, listen, I got...
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I got to tell you, a couple weeks ago, it was pouring rain 5 straight days, right?
Really?
So I'm driving on Route 31 between Lakeport and Verona, and I saw Noah's Ark on the side of the road.
You did? Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And Noah was not having a good day.
No.
All right.
No.
He was having he was having the animals graze on the side before he put them back in for the 40 days and 40 nights. And lo and behold, the rapids multiplied in line. So now he's got 6 rabbits to choose for 2.
Okay. All right.
2, okay.
All right. This is a long way around the block to get to the the candy store.
Yeah, really. And so once he got the animals in the ark, nobody wanted to stand next to the elephants for 40 days. So everybody's trying to upgrade their accommodations.
Okay, that's what happened.
And how many times can you tell the giraffes, "Hey, down in front, I can't see"?
That's a very good point. That's a good point.
Now,
yes.
Now, after all this, Noah's had it. Okay. And the Lord appears, and so Noah goes to the Lord. He goes, I didn't sign up to clean up for animals for 40 days and 40 nights. I've had it. And the Lord responds to Noah. He goes, Noah, how long can you tread water? And Noah says, hey, I'm cool. That's good. That's good.
Okay. All right. If only I had the perfect rim shot for you.
Yeah.
That would. Wait a minute.
That is Noah. There's
Noah.
the rain right there.
Listen, it never fails. You are the ultimate humorist.
Well, the other thing was
hit you again.
He thinks it's going to be good. Okay, I like it.
All right, absolutely.
The alien got some good news finally. The mayor.
Okay, all right.
They got a bad road situation down there.
They have a lot going on down there.
Water.
So they turned a positive from a negative. There's a sequel. Producers a sequel called Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Okay.
And they decided to do it in Ilion because they would save money from drilling holes that are already there.
Right, the holes are already there.
Yeah.
They are already there.
And they're so bad in front of Jane the Barber from Ilion. The roads are so bad that tourists are stopping and actually making selfies in front of these potholes and then telling people on social media they're actually vacationing in the Grand Canyon.
Oh. Boy, the Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away, doesn't?
And the Olympic.
There's more.
And there's more.
I tell you.
Sorry.
Go in threes.
Okay.
And the Olympic long jumpers are now in Ilion practicing for the Olympics by jumping over the piles. So
wow.
Everything's working out good. They're actually making money off the deal.
I just saw a report that came out yesterday that, and we'll speak with the mayor of Ilion coming up next week.
Oh, really?
They have a new garbage deal, and I think their bags are they're selling their bags for $10 a bag.
Oh, my God.
Something like that. It's a really pretty high price. Maybe Easy and Ilion can clarify that for us, but.
Really? Maybe they're psychedelic or something like that.
Could be. Yeah. Maybe there are things. Actually, it'd be kind of a cool idea. It's like we sell the yellow garbage bags. They're $10 a piece, but they come with something inside, right?
Like a prize, yeah.
A little grab bag type thing. Or if you don't like the prize, just leave it in there. It'll be going out to your garbage. Yeah, I think the Lord's going to. Yep. Lord's coming after me, too. Coming after me as well. Okay.
Okay.
It's the Belmont Stakes.
Belmont, yep.
Yes.
Actually, they call it the Belmont Festival. It actually starts today, 5 days in Saratoga. Of course, the Belmont's Saturday. 8 horses are running. I guess the best if you don't have a Triple Crown on up there. The top 3 horses that finish in the Derby are all there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a match race. Sovereignty, who won the Derby, who's number 2, and Journalism was number 7. They think it's going to be a match race. But I tell you, the 6 horse Bayaza, watch out for him too. They paid $1.2 million for him, and he didn't run the way I thought he was running the Derby. And of course, we had the 3 horses box for the trifecta: Producer / Talk Host / Guru NASCAR and Guru / Golfer. There, Dave. There, we had him for the Derby. Then we also cashed in a little bit.
Did you make any money at that? The last race?
It was $115 for every 50 cents. So
that's really good.
How you did. Now, the Preakness, the only way you're going to make money on the Preakness was to bet it flat across the board.
Yeah.
There's also another cheap way to do this thing. They have an Acorn Belmont Double, and there's a real good horse called Good Cheer. It's actually the equivalent. She won the Kentucky Oaks, and it's running on Friday in the Acorn. And I would take that horse. And there's only 2 horses. I think if the 3 horses that we mentioned did not win, Rodriguez, which is a Bob Baffert horse, has been scratched from the Derby because of an injury. Scratched, I think, because they didn't want to run in the Preakness. It's a horse that's going to be on the lead. Now, pace sometimes makes the race. And if somebody doesn't go after that horse, it's not the best horse in the race, but if it kind of wanders around, could pull the upset. So outside of those 3 horses,
does an upset pay for something where there are only 8 horses in?
It's tough. That's the only horses that you're probably going to pay a lot is Uncaged or Guido. And Guido, I tell you, I think it's the rabbit that makes sure Rodriguez doesn't walk around the track. I don't think.
Yeah. And then the other thing is, I would think that the way to win at the Preakness would be if you pick the 1, 2, and 3 in order. What would that be called?
You talk about the trifecta.
That's an exact trifecta, right?
Yeah, trifecta straight. Yeah, it's you're going to have Baeza win the thing. How we've done it is just key journalism, and you don't have to spend a lot of money.
Yeah,
and you could do this here. There's only 8 horses in the race. If you want to buy, because I think journalism to win first or second, and you put them first and second. I would throw Guido out, so just have 6 horses. And I think there's more horses that can finish third than win. The only horses that are going to beat journalism, I believe, is Baeza or Sovereignty or Rodriguez if he slowly goes around the track. Now, I'll tell you one thing. I don't know if you guys watched the Preakness or not. That was incredible.
I did watch it. Yeah.
And it looks like he needs a target because when in the Derby, remember he took the lead and got goofy on the lead.
Yeah.
And then
here though, he came way from behind.
The Preakness he got slammed. He wasn't, and he made up about 8 lengths in the last 100 yards, which usually doesn't happen.
That was incredible.
If you watch his races, he ran down a $3.2 million horse in the Felipe. It was a Bob Baffert horse. He ran that horse down. He ran the horse down in the Santa Anita. He takes the lead in the Derby, but then there's nobody in front of him. Sovereignty passes him, and he starts running faster. So I hope the jockey, which is basically it's taken his horse, slammed him in the rail 3 races. He's on the 7 hole. If he somehow ends up on the inside, there's a problem.
All right.
It should be the perfect. Journalism should win this thing, or Sovereignty, or Baeza. Those are your 3 that should win the race, and that's the 2, 6, and 7.
So I have somebody asking, how do you spend 50 cents and win $150? Because if
115
or 115, those are good numbers. Like you could,
it's a good return on investment.
Yeah.
That was the Derby.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. I mean that was a Derby, and producer / Dave when the people that I do some consulting showed asked which 3 horses if I was going to do a 3-horse box.
Yeah.
If he played it straight, 50 cents. If he boxed, it was $3. And I gave him those 3 horses, and he won 115 on a $3 investment.
Okay, those are good numbers.
Those are great numbers for the Derby. That is excellent. You got 19 horses too.
Davey, you won that?
No, somebody that Scott consulted with. I seen.
But the Derby's already passed. The person I'm talking to wants to know, how do they win something like that at the Belmont?
Well, the problem is it's not like betting sports. It's a pool of money.
Right.
And it's like the morning line, okay? Take a look at the morning line odds. If I can get 8-5 on journalism, I'm taking it.
Right.
If I get 2-1 on sovereignty, I'm taking it. Chances are they're going to both be around even money. And if you just box those two in the exactas, probably going to cut back $11 one way and maybe 12 the other way.
Okay.
It's just, I mean, that's why the Derby's the greatest as far as
you're not gonna make the money. Whereas the Kentucky Derby, you can make money because there's so many horses.
You can make money. I mean, you can make money. That's what I'm saying about the Acorn double. I think if Good Cheer was running in the Acorn on Friday, and then they just take those 4 horses, and you can maybe make. It's only going to cost you $4 for every dollar bet.
Can I just say, and I don't mean to be the dummy in the bunch, but I think
you're in good company there.
I never mean to be the dummy in the bunch. It just seems to happen for me. It's amazing.
It's a gift.
But Scott, I got to tell you, I can never bet horse racing because I am so confused by it to the point where when I do bet it, I'll be like, I think I won some really big money. And there's either nothing or I won like $3 or something. So I just don't. I'd be better off handing you money and saying, make me money.
Right. It depends how much you want to wager. And that's why I try to be,
as
when
little
I say
as
50
possible.
Cents, I say 50 cents because I think I'm talking to people that aren't going to want to risk $200 across the board. And we know somebody, right, Producer Dave, that did that. On journalism for the Preakness.
Oh.
Yeah, we sure do.
So what will that pay if he spent $200 on journalism to win?
Well, he won. He was because I did the same thing. I didn't bet maybe 200.
Yeah.
But he paid I think $420 to win, $280 and $260 I think.
Okay.
So, I mean, the bottom line is, and that's why I'm going with journalism, because think about it. This horse didn't win the Derby.
Yeah.
And he shows up for the Preakness, and he's showing up for the Belmont. The owners thought this was a Triple Crown horse. They trained the horse for 3 races in 5 weeks. I don't know what Sovereignty's owners. I knew 5 minutes after the Derby he wasn't going to the Preakness.
Yeah. Okay.
It wasn't like, well, usually you say, well, we'll wait and see if the horse comes out of the Derby. Fine, we got 2 weeks to say yes. Well, they said it in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So they had no reason, and they're waiting 5 weeks. So I'm kind of rooting for journalism because he's doing all the dances.
Okay.
He's had 2 rough races, and they're still running the horse. And
this is going to be
I'm taking journalism.
All right. And interesting, this will be on grass, right?
No, it's regular dirt. It might be raining. Take a look at the forecast. And we all know the 3 horses in the Derby can run in the mud because they ran in the mud.
They've already run in the mud
for the Derby. So
this shows you all how much I know about this. Very little, which is why we rely on you, Scott. We rely on you. Yeah.
Well, there's a new cannabis shop in Vernon.
Oh,
here we go. Here we go.
There's a new meaning for horses grazing on grass now. I don't get it.
Okay, all right. Well, listen, you make a lot of money this weekend. Okay.
We'll do it. We'll try.
Okay.
But, you're not going to make anything close to, because there's 8 horses, and basically, if 4 horses don't win it, I'll be totally shocked. And those are the 2, 3, 6, and 7.
2, 3, 6, and 7. Okay, Scott, thank you as always. We appreciate every bit of it.
We'll do it.
And don't let the lightning.
I like that.
Don't let the lightning strike hit you on the way out. Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
All right. Thank you so much.
Oh, by the way, may the horses be with you.
May the horses be with you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Scott. Thank you. Scott in Kirkville. There you go. Now, have you figured out what you guys are going to do for the Belmont? No.
Keep my money in my pocket.
I think keeping your money in your pocket is a good idea.
Keep my money in my pocket.
First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Are you sick of being just a number or doing a mindless job? Become a craftsman in a trade. Become an IBEW electrician. The IBEW and the Electrician Training Alliance will give you all the tools necessary at their state-of-the-art training facility. Earn as you learn. Paid training while you get your certification. What are you waiting for? Become an IBEW Local 43 electrician. Call or go online today to learn more. Find your career at IBEW. and let the Electrician Training Alliance light up your future.
Flag Day is June 14th, and the Frigo Agency and NYCM Insurance are celebrating with a flag exchange. Show your patriotism by flying a beautiful new American flag. Bring in your old, worn-out American flag to the Frigo Agency, 136 Clinton Road, Route 12B in New Hartford on Thursday, June 12th and Friday, June 13th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and exchange it for a brand new one. They'll handle the proper, respectful disposal of the worn flags. Don't have a flag? Just stop in. They'll give you one. While supplies last, one per household, please.
Ferris commercial mowers set the bar with racing-inspired patented full suspension and integrated cutting decks so you can go faster, cut better, and not get beat up. Ferris experienced suspension. Take advantage of the best financing and prices of the year. Visit us at whitesfarmsupply.com.
We're the power in power equipment. White's Farm Supply.
No one wants to leave behind stress for their family. That's why a trust or a will is so important. Without one, your assets might go to the wrong people or leave out loved ones. Also, probate is long, expensive, and often avoidable with a revocable trust. Trustandwill.com makes it simple to create a personalized estate plan. A trust or will provides clarity and peace of mind. Get 20% off on your estate plan documents by visiting trustandwill.com/radio.
Keeler in the morning. Live local news updates throughout your workday.
I feel smarter when I listen.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Celebrating 100 years.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Working all day and I'm playing all night. I got drunk last night and got under a fired. My wife said, "Get out of the house, you stinking piece of garbage." This is getting too personal. This is getting too personal. I got to stop.
It's not your father-in-law's band, is it?
I believe it is. Rochester, New York. Apparently, there's the World Video Game Hall of Fame in Rochester. There's the Toy Hall of Fame there, and the World Video Game Hall of Fame. Did you know this?
I hadn't heard of it. And I'm curious to know. So, for instance, you go to the Baseball Hall of Fame, and there's a bust of the player, and you get to read about him and learn about the player. But is it like you get to go in, and I'm not familiar with this at all, but let's say there's a version of John Madden football.
Yes.
Do you get to play the game when you go in there, or is it just there's the cartridge is on display? That's the bust?
Well, there's a bust like of Wee Willie Mario. And
is that right?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Interesting. I wonder how it is. Too bad there's not an expert or someone we could talk to about
Well, there might just be. Let's see if I can get a hold of him. John Paul Dyson is with the World Video Game Hall of Fame. He's on the line right now. Good morning, John Paul.
Good morning.
Are you from the Dyson family that makes the vacuum cleaners?
Of course. Every time you buy a vacuum cleaner, we get a little bit of the money.
Nice.
Yeah.
Which is why you own a Video Game Hall of Fame. Yeah, beautiful. So this is kind of cool. The Toy Hall of Fame is in Rochester, and of course the Strong National Museum is if you're in this area and you've not traveled there to enjoy a day there, it is just a spectacular facility, right?
It is. It's an amazing place. The Strong National Museum of Play has the world's biggest collection of playthings. That's toys, dolls, games, jigsaw puzzles, and video games. And we have the world's biggest collection of video games, which is why we have the World Video Game Hall of Fame. It's an amazing place. You can just have a lot of fun here.
Yeah. So what do you who gets inducted this year? What are we looking at?
So there are 4 games. One is a classic arcade game called Defender from 1981. Those of you who are old enough may know that. And then we have 3 games from the sort of mid to late 1990s. GoldenEye 007, Quake, and Tamagotchi.
All right. Do you play any of these?
I'm not familiar with Tamagotchi. I've heard of, but
I'm amazed.
All I know about video games today, I told you this during the break. My son is into Fortnite big time. He loves it, and so I sometimes play with him. But other than that, I'm not a gamer.
Are there any? Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say in both GoldenEye and Quake are sort of like forerunners of Fortnite. They're shooters where you're playing with other people, and you're especially Quake, especially that was really the game that brought online gaming to a mass audience.
Yeah.
And GoldenEye 007 was for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
So what is in there currently? Because these video games, you go back to the one. Remember the hockey game, the handheld hockey game in the 70s?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, we have Mattel Football.
Okay.
Is in the World Video Game Hall of Fame. That was a football game.
Yeah. That's cool.
And we induct games every year. And actually, Mattel Football is not. And it's been nominated. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
It was we induct games based on 4 criteria. So influence, is the game important? Longevity, icon status, and geographical reach. So is it played across different borders, across countries, that sort of thing. And so when the first class was inducted in 2015, it had games like Doom, for instance, which is an earlier version of Quake, Super Mario Brothers. Everyone knows Super Mario Brothers. Pac-Man, Pong, Tetris, World of Warcraft. So that was the first class.
Okay.
And to really try to get games that are important, that stand the test of time. You get games that are sort of one-offs. They sort of pop up for a moment, and then they're like, no, I don't know. Like this year, Frogger was up for the Hall of Fame. Didn't make it, but it was nominated. If you've seen the Seinfeld skit.
Yes.
You remember that.
Is Pong the one where you played, it was almost like playing tennis, the old Ataris?
Right, yeah. And that was the game that really first brought video games to, sort of national, international.
Can I ask you a real honest question? I used to love playing that, and I think I was pretty good. It would get to the point where the ball was going pretty boop boop boop.
Yeah, faster and faster, right? Yeah.
And then you could do the hard level, and it would make the paddle much thinner, and the ball would go flying around like you'd have to be. I really think you'd have to be superhuman. Was there anyone who could actually operate the game at that high level, or?
With every game, there is someone who just gets so incredible at it.
Yeah.
I mean, there was just a guy who just beat Tetris, for instance. And so
Wait, he beat Tetris, or he beat the old record or high score?
There's some, I can't remember when you turn over the score somehow. It'd never been done before, just in the last year or something. And and so every game you get these people who are like savants. They just play it so much, or they're just so naturally good. It's like someone who can solve a Rubik's Cube in 3 seconds or something like that. So I never reached any of that level with any games.
You know what I like about Rubik's Cube is when you get frustrated with the game, you could always take a knife and take the stickers off and move it all around, and then you've solved the puzzle.
Or pop the cubes out.
Or pop out the cubes. That was good too. I mean, that to me show you may not be the smart one, but you're the creative one. You figured out how to make it look like you beat the game. But video games, you got to know what you're doing. You really kind of have to know what you're doing.
Yes and no. I mean, cheats have long been a thing in video games. There's cheat codes that the programmers put in. Or you get stuck in a level now. You used to go back and you get a book, be like how to beat whatever game.
Right.
Now you go online and just look up how do I beat this level here. So cheating is a universal phenomenon.
You're right.
Did you say GoldenEye is going in?
Yep, GoldenEye 007.
Okay,
so James Bond.
Yes, so that one I actually am familiar with. Somehow I missed it when you first said it, but on the N64, now there's something to note here because I mentioned Fortnite. First of all, the grenade launcher was the best weapon because you could play team mode or group mode, basically. You could have 4 players, so it'd be like an every man for himself, and you could ricochet the grenade launcher off the wall. So if you're trying to get somebody who was like down the hall in a room, you could angle it similar to Pong. You needed to know the angle, and you...
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome.
W295EI.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
A little less hiring than April, a little more than expected. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That is in the jobs report just out for May.
139,000 is the non-farm payrolls number. The street was looking for 130,000. The unemployment rate stayed the same, 4.2%.
Fox Business Network Cheryl Custoni. She mentioned beating Wall Street's estimates while stock futures are rising about 300 points for the Dow. President Trump wrote on Truth Social before the report, income is up, gasoline is cheap, inflation is dead, our country is booming. There's no Trump post, though, today about Elon Musk, following the public feud that the two got into after Musk's railing against the massive budget bill the president calls big and beautiful.
There was some reporting today about the possibility of a Trump and Elon Musk phone call to make nice. Aides are telling me that is not something they are tracking. It's possible that some staffers might try to talk to Musk, but no Trump and Musk call.
Fox's Peter Ducey at the White House also has an update on that Tesla that the president famously bought while Musk, the CEO, was leading the Trump Doge effort to make federal spending cuts.
We're told that Tesla, still sitting there, the red Tesla with Florida tags, is either going to be given away or sold off. And we are told that it was about a month that Elon Musk was wearing thin on Trump. So this was not a sudden exit and then blow up.
The day after President Trump's call with China's leader trying to end a trade war filled with high tariffs, counselor to the president, Peter Navarro, just told Fox Business.
There was a clear mandate between and understanding between the two presidents.
So he says a U.S.-China meeting will happen within the next week. It's been 3 weeks now since that big jailbreak in New Orleans, and 2 of the 10 who escaped are still on the run. Antoine Massey and Derek Groves. He's a convicted murderer. So is Grant Hardin. And he's also still a fugitive, 12 days after the former police chief broke out of an Arkansas prison. America's listening to Fox News.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Good morning. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 9:03. I'm Megan Stone with your news update. New Hartford police made an arrest over a burglary of a residential home on Clinton Road. Police say they were called to the residence before noontime Wednesday and learned a male suspect fled the area on foot. He was picked up a short distance away in around State Route 12 at Merritt Place. Authorities arrested 42-year-old Joshua Mercantile and determined he stole property from the home. He was charged with second-degree burglary, which is a felony, and petty larceny. He was held at Oneida County Jail pending arraignment. Measles vaccination rates for children are falling after the COVID-19 pandemic. Researchers from Johns Hopkins University assessed data from over 2,000 counties across 33 states between 2019 and 2024. The study found 78% of the counties reported a decrease in vaccination rates over that period, and the average vaccination rate fell approximately from over 93% pre-pandemic to just over 91% post-pandemic. However, research showed only 4 states, which were identified as California, Connecticut, Maine, and New York, had an increase in county-level vaccination rates. The International Boxing Hall of Fame will have its annual induction ceremony this weekend. The class of 2025 includes Manny Pacquiao, Jessica Chavez, Vinny Paz, and referee Kenny Bayless. Actress Cindy Sweeney will be the Grand Marshal for the Parade of Champions in Canastota. She is set to star in a film about female boxer Christy Martin, who was put in the Hall of Fame in 2020. For more information, head to ibhof.com. And the first full moon of the summer season will arrive next week. Bree Tennis with details on the arrival of the strawberry moon.
NASA says the strawberry moon will be visible in the night sky on June 11th, with peak moon viewing just before 1 a.m. Pacific time. Despite its name, the moon will not be pink, but it will look larger and brighter than usual. That's called a moon illusion, and it's due to the moon's low position in the sky that makes it appear larger. And do take a peek. Legend has it the strawberry moon brings luck and good fortune. I'm Bree Tennis.
Your Weather Center forecast. Showers and thunderstorms likely today, high 74. Those stormy conditions continue tonight, low 63, but gradual clearing tomorrow, high 78. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM. I'm Megan Stone. The 2025 Boilermaker is about to sell out, and WIBX with Fit Body Boot Camp of Clinton and Whitesboro is giving you the chance to get in the action. Score an official running bib to the 2025 Boilermaker Road Race by entering on the WIBX station app. Get your entry in by June 22nd, and you could be running in one of America's most famous races on July 13th. So run, don't walk to register now to win one of the exclusive Boilermaker running bibs thanks to WIBX and Fit Body Boot Camp of Clinton and Whitesboro.
WIBX 950.